I'm coming for all of you. Right now, there's a 15-year-old sophomore in high school who has no idea they're studying nursing just so they can wipe my ass in 17 years. I'm 50 and single. That's a fantastic combination. I'm going to spend my golden years dating a handful of spit and a jug of Astroglide. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody in the world. That seems optimistic, probably, that anybody or everybody who's listening to podcasts at this point in time would be listening to this particular show. But what if it is not optimistic? What if it's true? What if it's real? What if for some reason this is the show that lands? What if this is the one that finds its way, burrowing its way into everybody's medulla oblongatas via their ears while their earbuds rest inside those ears and they are plugged into their iPod vaginas and my voice goes coursing through those wires directly into their fucking skulls? What if that's the case? What if this is the show where everybody goes, you know what, let's sample that Mike Schmidt 40-year-old boy. Every Uber passenger I've ever driven who decided that they wanted to ask what I really do for a living. Every person I meet in the street. Every person who cuts my hair. That's right, I got a team. I got a fucking like NASCAR team. Then I sit down in a chair. They get that fucking drill. They put it in my ears. And they fucking get a whole group of people out there. Because last week was a maintenance day. This is funny. I'll tell you this story. I went to Denver last. It's not even a story. It's more of an anecdote. Maybe a sentence. I was in Denver last week. I'm back from Denver, by the way. But again, like I said, happy Thanksgiving. I was going to talk about that. Well, I mean, you know why? Because this is fucking weird. Think about this. Because today is actually Thanksgiving, this Thursday that you're possibly listening to me. I'm recording on Tuesday. I'm recording a couple of days before Thanksgiving. Now, I prefer to record on Wednesday because I just got home super late last night. But yet I dive into the show today for all the reasons I've told you in the past. I need to start having some responsibility and taking care of the show and getting it ready so the art guy, our friend David Hernandez, our great friend of 40 years, that seems long and high, but I want to make sure he's able to do the artwork because I'm sure he's busy tomorrow making a casserole of some sort, making some kind of food with an accent mark over an E. I'm sure he's cooking that up. Maybe he's making homemade. He's right now, you know what he is? He's barefoot and he's stomping on the corn to make the masa to make his tortillas. Oh, he makes a delightful food. Because I'll tell you what, his mom's a badass fucking cook. And she handed those recipes down to young Kristen, or K-Mex, as I learned she's now being called by my friend Dennis. Evil Dennis calls Mex's wife K-Mex, which I liked. Which I enjoyed, and I don't know if David loves it, but I certainly did. It made me laugh. Because here's the thing. Here's how stupid our friends are. My friends are all in a fantasy football league. Now, I'm not in their league. I think I was asked to do it 3 years ago, and I passed, and then there hasn't been an opening since. Because it's like, it's fathers and sons. It's guys and their kids. My godson's in it, and Dennis's son is in it, and Kenny's in it, and wives are in it. I can't come in there and muck it up with my fucking toxic nonsense. I'm going to show up and try to win and have a coin flip and have a ruling on a waiver claim for wives. That's not good. Although these guys play a bloodthirsty game. As a matter of fact, they have a website. Well, not a website, but they've got their own Facebook page. And every week, Mex awards the lowest scoring team a new nickname. Like, so, my team, my football team is called Globetrotter Rape Train, which I've mentioned. And this weekend, by the way, I was getting killed. But every time I would score a point, I was with Dennis, and I'd go, "Here comes the rape train," which doesn't have the same charm you would think it would have when it's being said aloud in a crowded restaurant in Denver. I got to tell you, the people look askance at you when you shout out, "Here comes the rape train." And especially when you throw in the woo, woo, the fucking horn, when you got a train whistle blowing behind that rape train, which I got to be honest with you, if you have an actual rape train, lose the whistle, because that's going to be something that screws up your entire, I don't want to say, well, you know what it's going to do? It's going to alert the authorities to your activities. You know what? Fuck that. I go this route. If you have a rape train, have a loud fucking whistle. That's the way it should go. If you're going to organize a rape train, get a loud whistle so you blow it, and then the fucking rape train, it doesn't get to accomplish its goal. I go with more train and less the other. All right, how about that? What if we do that? If you have a rape train right now, sit down and have a meeting with all the guys in that rape train and say to themselves, "Hey, you know what? Let's just go with a train. Let's just lose the other part, because that's probably going to be frowned on in polite society." I mean, the fact that 8 of you are going to be walking in a circle going woo woo, that's also frowned upon. Lose the whole thing. You know what? Go to your rooms. That's what I say to all of you people who are thinking about forming some sort of rape train. Put your whistles down and go to your rooms. So that's my name. It's a terrible name, of course, as you know. So the thing is, if I'm in a league with kids and wives, I can't name my team that. Although my friend Dennis named his name and his team, "Show Me Your TDs," because it's football. TDs. But Evil Dennis doesn't care about who he hurts. So anyway, They have their football league. Fuck, why was I bringing this shit up? I don't even fucking know. I was talking about Thanksgiving a second ago, and then I started talking about Dennis in a football league. Oh, because Dennis, here's why. Because Dennis writes fucking recaps when the season, the week is over. He'll write a weekly recap for how everybody did and who they fought and who they beat. And I read it and I'm like, and Dennis is funny. It's always very funny. And it's also very crude because Dennis is writing to people. And again, so I guess I shouldn't worry about the name of my team with all these kids reading the recap. Unless maybe they don't email the kids the recap. But the kids are 16. Maybe they're okay with it. I don't know. and they're children of us. Like, I mean, Val's half off anyway, my godson. He's a little bananas as it is, walking around with knives and all fucking cut like Bruce Lee, ready to hurt anybody at a fucking drop of a hat. But then the most gentle guy in the world upstairs playing video games. But he looks like he can be dangerous. He's a whippet. He's a thin, gristly man. That's what I say of Val. Because he doesn't have an ounce of fat on him. He looks like he could be in the prison camp in Papillon leading the charge down the hill. I hope it doesn't turn out that way. I'm hoping he has a much less stressful life than Papillon did. Papillon, things did not go well. And he had to be friends with a leper. I don't want my godson to be friends with a leper. Ugh, that's grim. I mean, and there's a thing to be said for taking up the cause and being friends with people and trying to rescue somebody from their own particular situation. But if you find yourself reaching out to a leper, pull your hand back. Just go to your room. That's the way it should be. Go to your room. Everybody go to your room. That's my entire philosophy about everything in the world now. Go to your room. All right, so happy Thanksgiving, as I've mentioned. This is 10 Thanksgivings we spent together. How fucking bananas is that? That seems weird, right? That just seems like strange that I would be, because now I'm like some of you, maybe when you started listening to this show, you were at the kids' table. And now you've graduated. You're sitting at the adult table where the sauce and the turkey is. Maybe you've been carving the turkey now. Maybe they even trust you with knives. When you started listening to the show, they didn't trust you with knives, for fuck's sake. And now you step up and you're handed a fucking dagger the second you walk into your Thanksgiving celebration. That seems awkward. A bayonet? Nah. A carving knife. All right, good. Please do not try to cut your turkey with a bayonet. They tried to do that during Vietnam every Thanksgiving over there because they would, like they got hunting knives strapped to their waist, but that's covered in Charlie blood. Nobody wants to fucking use that on a turkey, so they go ahead and bring a bayonet into action. I guess the bayonet's probably got Charlie blood on it too, unless you're what they probably did? You know how they had celebrities in the fucking army, and they would put, like, Elvis would show up and he'd sing 4 songs, then he'd bail? I'll bet those dudes brought clean knives. Like every holiday, a fucking celebrity would show up at your camp in Vietnam, and he would bring the clean knife to carve your fucking Thanksgiving Vietnam turkey. Because Charlie don't surf and Charlie don't carve. But these guys, you have to fucking, so you can't steal a knife from them. You got to go ahead and bring your own fucking clean knife. Charlie died. Charlie Manson died. There's everybody fucking died this weekend. Like Mel Tillis and Della Reese, and I think David Cassidy's checking out soon. It's about time, right? Let's just clean out these fucking rosters. It's spring cleaning for these fucking celebrities. Let's get rid of all these motherfuckers. Mel Tillis is dead, 90 years old. Della Reese was holding on. She was 90. Cassidy's a little younger. I think he's like 65. Manson's 83. And I don't fucking, dude, I got no fucking, like I was like, how does Manson live this long? Everybody, and this made me laugh. My buddy Dennis, he married this girl, Kelly. She's awesome. She's really nice and fun. But when I sat at the table, I'm like, how does Manson live to 83? She's like, well, and again, she's a young woman. But her thing was, well, he's been living in state-supported housing and we've been feeding and caring for him for all these years. So, I mean, well, how much stress of a life could he possibly have had? I don't know, stressful enough that he carved a swastika on his fucking forehead? That's probably stressful, I would think. I mean, sitting in a goddamn cell waiting to expire and everybody calling you the fucking, the evil boogeyman, because that's another thing, too. Everybody's freaking out about Manson dying. They're like, oh yeah, Charles Manson, that's the fucking guy. He's the scariest dude who ever lived. Is he? I mean, he didn't really kill anybody. That's the thing. They're like, oh my God, Manson killed 9 people. No, he didn't. He killed nobody. I mean, he told everybody to do it. And he hung out with people named Tex and Squeaky. How fucking dangerous could he have been? Let's be honest. And Manson's credited as this like murder guru who talked these fucking crucial hippies into doing all this terrible stuff. If you're hanging out with people named Tex and Squeaky, how hard can it be to talk them into doing anything? They're being called Tex and Squeaky. On the most basic of choices, they've chosen to be referred to as Tex and Squeaky. Literally, the most basic of choices. What do you want to be called through your lifetime? They went with Tex and Squeaky. It's just, you're a stone's throw away from do me a favor and write piggies in blood on somebody's wall. Could you do that for me? Hey, we're going with Squeaky? Fantastic. Here's a fork. Go carve the word Y into the Lobianco's stomach. Could you do that for me? And they would do it because, again, they've chosen Tex and fucking Squeaky as the thing to be referred to for the rest of their lives. How hard? Fuck Manson murder guru, okay? It's not hard to talk a Tex or a Squeaky into fucking anything. But I have to read, he's the scariest dude and he's dead. It's just, I'm more concerned with the fact that he lived to be 83 fucking years old. And I'm not a death penalty guy. I'm not like, fucking let's kill everybody, because I don't want to kill anyone. I'm not the guy who's going to show up and fucking pull a lever. I love those guys too. Hey, I tell you what, I'll fucking pull a lever and kill all these dudes. And you would think, because I'm not a religious dude and I don't care so much about fucking, Sky Dad and all that other bullshit with every guy's looking down at us and telling us what we can and can't do, you would think I would have no moral choice or no moral conscience, and I would just kill everybody. Like I would just, like I'm that close to killing everybody because I don't believe in anything. And if you don't believe in anything, or if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything. Is that what I've heard? Is that what Lee Greenwood told me? Or some country it? Somebody in a cowboy hat said that once, and I'm sure it had some sort of meaning. That sounds like literally that platitude. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That's a platitude that could have been uttered by the founding fathers or Toby Keith. There's no middle ground there. It was either some dude in a powdered wig or some guy with a crazy hat. Either way, somebody with some stupid fucking headgear coined that phrase and somebody thought it was important. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And I can picture, again, in a pompous way, a guy with a quill feather pen and who owns 4 slaves, and a guy who owes Thomas Jefferson, 14 pounds. He's going to stand up in the middle of the first chamber and go, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Or it's Toby Keith going, hey, y'all, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. It just rolls off the tongue in either stupid vernacular, either stupid accent. It works on both ends. I'm doing a lot of broad brushing in this show, a lot of generalities. It either came from this or this. How hard is it to talk a Texan, a squeaky, and anything? Not hard at all. If I knew it, I'll tell you what, if I meet a Texan, a squeaky, first thing I do, other than get Squeaky to probably blow me, is I tell them to fucking kill everybody. I find somebody that I hate, I find a Texan, a squeaky, and I put them on the fucking list. I go ahead. Here, look at this guy. Almost like dogs. Cool Hand Luke, when they got the pack of dogs, and they're like, here, smell these pants. Go find these dudes. That's what I would do with a Texan, a squeaky. I find a Texan, a squeaky, I just put a picture and I rub it in their face. There you go. Go find this guy and kill him. But Squeaky, you hang around for about 15 minutes. Tex, you get a head start. Squeaky will catch up. She's got some gargling to do. All right. Yeah, that's high. Happy Thanksgiving. That's not good. You're sitting at a table right now staring at cranberry sauce and probably a gravy of some sort. And I just said that right into your ear and you didn't like it. I came right there and I said it. I whispered it directly into your ear and you didn't like it. I don't blame you. Why would you like something like that? So I was in Denver, folks. It was fantastic to go to Denver. I had a good time. A lot of people were like, hey, man, here's my favorite part is people hear the show, like while I'm there. And they're like, dude, you're in Denver? What's going on? And then I write them up and I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm here. I don't have a show or anything. I'm kind of hanging out with friends. But it's on the list to come back probably in the spring or the summer. I'll definitely come back and I'm hoping to do a show when I get back to town. And then people are back like, oh, don't worry. I'm like 9 hours from Denver. I just wanted to know what you were doing in Colorado. But the initial salvo was like, oh my God, you're in Denver. What's going on? Like it was a big deal, which is great. But then when I write them back, they're like, don't worry, man. I'm in Wyoming. So I'm just wondering why you're so close. As if they were worried that I was going to do something. You know what? They probably figured I was going to unleash my own Texan squeaky on them, and they wanted to make sure they had a heads up on exactly where I was at any given moment. If they should have an app for that. They do have an app for that for like the iPhone, but they should have a Schmitty. Like the Find My iPhone, they should have a Find My Schmitty app. And then wherever I go, I'll put a tracker in my neck like fucking Kurt Russell and Escape from New York. Dude, I could be Pliskin. Just Pliskin the shit out of me and get some doctor to fucking shoot something in my neck, and then you guys can see where I'm at whenever I'm there. And then you would have to ask me questions, and then you'd have to talk to me. By the way, let's talk about that from last week. I'm better. Not really. That's not true. Not really is not true. I want to thank everybody for reaching out last week. That was very nice of you. Thank you for stepping up. And everybody's on board. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people are on board. I want to throw out one particular name here real quick. There's a guy named Spencer Mahar, listener to the show. He actually sponsored the show for a while, and he had a cool ass thing that he was doing with some classes, and he's a health guy. I don't want to I can't say specifically what he does. He might not do this shit anymore. He might have done it before, but he was always a health dude. Like we've had plenty of health people who listen. Like Tresha Green was a Zumba person. I don't know if she is anymore. I know she got married. Hey, Tresha, I'm glad you got married. These are people who became friends with me. They were really active on the show, and then they kind of disappeared, and I don't know if they really listen to the show anymore. But I know Tresha got married, so congratulations, Tresha. Good for you. But I don't know if she's still a Zumba person. But I have people out there who do health stuff. Like our friend JT, Jeff Thomas, he threw in a thing, and he's like, hey, man, I just eat bacon and guacamole, and I lost like 1,000 pounds. And again, I'm sure that worked for him. It sounds like a bunch of horse shit to me, but good for you. And I have to contact him on it. I have to contact everybody, because here's the thing. Last week I threw it out to you. you guys. I'm like, help me, let's do this. And you guys are on board. Yes, we want to do this. We're going to have an organization. We're going to all Fitbit and do these things. Our friend Brian is like, dude, I'm going to quit smoking. All these people, which is great. I want to thank you all for reaching out, and I'm excited to go forward with this sort of thing. I have not signed up yet for the Fitbit thing because I was in Denver for 5 days. Let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, I was in Denver for 5 days. But I'm back now. Again, like I said, it's a Tuesday, and I got to broadcast the show, record, whatever the fuck. And but then today, I will go ahead and I will sign up for the Fitbit thing, and I will get on board. And I don't know. I'm fucking telling you this. By the time you hear this show, I'll be signed up, so you won't have to fucking worry about it. But thank you to everybody who stepped up and said, hey man, if you want to send me workout photos, you want to send me fucking ridiculous sweaty workout shit, go ahead and do that. And I think you're lying, because I think when they start rolling into you, you're going to be furious by it, but that's fine. But I will do it. At first, I'll start doing it in public. Like maybe I'll do it if we get another page, I'll do it there. Maybe on the Joker's page. Who knows? But if you do want me to personally send weird Snapchats and nonsense, I'll be happy to do that too. But thank you to everybody who stood up and said, hey, man, I'm happy to do that for you. But like I said, I went to Denver, and then people contacted me, and they're like, oh, my God, you're in Denver? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And they're like, oh, great, goodbye. And then that's all. They just wanted to know where I was. So I think we need an app. We need to find my Schmitty app. Just fucking put a thing in my goddamn neck and pliskin me. And when I bring in the glider, what the fuck was the name of it? The Gull Wing, the Gulfstream? Fuck. How do I not remember the fucking Escape from New York glider name? I'm old, man. My fucking brain is misfiring all the goddamn time. Shit like that. When you flew the Gull Wing over Leningrad. I can remember the fucking city where he flew it into, but I can't remember that. Fuck. Pliskin. All right. Someone was trying to convince me that Escape to LA actually holds up again. Like if I see it, because I told them I was so furious the first time I saw it. Escape from New York is genius. It's fucking brilliant. But then you see Escape from LA, and they literally did a carbon copy of the movie with bad CGI. It's almost like John Carpenter was like, yeah, you know what? Everybody shut the fuck up about a sequel to Escape from New York. I'm going to do this and fuck you. And then he just basically kind of half-assed it. I mean, I don't want to talk to him about that because he's a prickly motherfucker, and he might say, no, man, it's exactly what I meant to make was this kind of movie, which seems weird to me, and I don't understand why he'd do something like that, because he finally played like a weird prank on everybody because he just made the same fucking movie, but he put it in Los Angeles. But it was still Pliskin, and Pliskin still rules. But but Escape from New York is goddamn. Again, I just lost all fucking track of what I was talking about. You flew the Gulf Wing. I'm so mad at myself. Fucking, I'm shutting up. I was in fucking Denver. All right, hi. It was fun. I went. Young Randy came to my house, and she and I flew off to Denver, and we went to Dennis's house, and we had a good time. Now, a lot of people are asking me, they're like, hey, dude, were you able to adhere to the things you wanted to adhere to? Like, did you backslide? Well, yes, I did, but not as much as I would have. I mean, I did good when I was there, at least eating-wise, because Dennis is, that's a guy who eats normal food. Here's the fucking thing that I don't understand about real people. They eat like 3 meals a day. Like, how the fuck do they do that? I don't get it. How do you eat 3 meals a goddamn day, or eat? Because we would have, like, I'd get up and I'd have fucking eggs at 11:30, and then he'd go, all right, we're gonna have lunch at 3, and I'm like, but I just ate fucking eggs, man. I don't want to eat again until like 7, if that. Because when I'm by myself, and again, this is not the best way to be. Like I said, I'm trying to learn. You got to eat small meals and small portions, and you do like 6 or 7 of those a day, and it keeps your metabolism rolling, and you're out there exercising. I know, and we'll all get into that when we're Fitbitting together, and we're all on the fucking page, same page, I should say. But right now, and I'm still trying to fucking get used to that. So he would make eggs, and then he'd make fucking sausages and bacon, and he had a waffle maker. Made me a fucking waffle. Dude, I'm not fucking Dennis. All right, Dennis I've known 40 years, but he still made me a waffle. Like, I have had sex with upwards of 25 women, I'm going to say. Who had the opportunity to cook me something. There may be others who had no opportunity to cook me something, who were just like a real quick one-nighter or whatever the fuck, and I didn't wake up with them. But I've probably woken up with, I'm going to say I'm comfortable with the number of 25. I've woken up with 25 women in my lifetime, okay? And they've all had the opportunity to make me breakfast or whatever the fuck, and none of them made me a waffle. Nobody made me a waffle with a waffle maker. Like, I will take this back. Like, on the road doesn't count. Like, I would be, like, when Jill and I would be in a hotel and we would go down for the free breakfast thing, she'd make me a waffle in the little waffle maker. So that, I guess that sort of counts But what I mean is somebody's house. No one's ever said, "Hey man, can I bust out the waffle maker for you?" And I don't know if just Dennis has a perverse pleasure in using his waffle maker, but this guy made me a homemade blueberry fucking waffle. Are you kidding me? Again, like I said, I didn't fuck him even. I didn't even fuck the guy. And he made me a fucking homemade blueberry waffle. It was fantastic. I don't know if we're married now or what. I think I'm in sort of weird polyamorous third wheel fucking marriage with him and Kelly because I ate his blueberry waffle. I went, oh yeah, that's right. I buried my face in Dennis's blueberry waffle and ate the whole fucking thing. That sounds horrible. But yeah, I'm not even fucking that dude. And he made me a blueberry waffle. It was fucking great. And he made me breakfast and eggs and shit all the time because that's his deal. He's a good host. And Kelly's like a good host, but it just, but then you feel weird because then that's that weird thing where like they're offering shit and I don't want to fucking ask for stuff. So it's that weird netherworld of, hey, you want some eggs? Well, no, unless you guys are having eggs, shut the fuck up and make a decision. I want to make you some goddamn eggs. So finally I just say yes to everything. Hey, you want eggs? Yes. But then when he wants to eat lunch in 2 hours, I'm like, fuck, man, I can't pull that off. I can't choke down another meal. I still got a meal in there. I can put a meal on top of this meal. Then I don't have a 2-meal stomach anymore. I used to have a fucking 3-meal stomach. Oh man, you heard of a 3-ring circus? I mean, in my fucking stomach, you can get a fucking elephant, a clown, and a ringmaster, all 3 of them at the same fucking time. I had a 3-ring, 3-meal fucking stomach. But then they went in there and they chopped it up and they made it into one of those supermarket parking lot circuses. You know what I'm talking about? With a petting zoo and a Ferris wheel that 4 people died on, but they don't tell you about it. So like, I had Ringling Brothers. I had a big fucking Ringling Brothers stomach, and now I got like a kind of a, not even a Circus Vargas. I would call it just like a fucking CVS parking lot Ferris wheel stomach. That's what I got these days. But you know, it was enough to fill it up with a fucking waffle and some sausages. And I'm not even a sausage guy. Like, he was like, hey man, you want sausages? Because he wrote me before. He's like, what do you want me to have? I said, well, I'm a bacon guy. I like bacon if you want to have some bacon. Because I don't know if you heard, Jeff Thomas lost 1,000 pounds eating nothing but bacon and guacamole. So I was like, oh fuck, that's the move. I got to eat some bacon right there and avocado. I said, he wrote me and he's like, what do you want? And that's the shit I do with like Randy. I write Randy. I go, what do you want in the house? And she says, I don't know. Oh my God, please make a fucking effort to answer. Please tell me what you like. Hey, what kind of coffee do you like? I don't care as long as it's hot. Oh no, don't fucking, please. You know what? What I love is taking care of you. So if you tell me what you like, I will get it. I've done this before with ladies and said, hey, what do you like? Well, it's okay. Oh, Jesus, no. Please tell me what kind of coffee you want because because it makes me happy to have that in the house. And then she's like, well, I don't care. So then I was like, fuck it. That's when I got the Keurig. And then I was like, well, what do you want in your coffee? And she's like, no, I don't care. I'm like, no, fuck, you do care. You drink. No, man, I just like coffee. It's okay. Oh, Jesus, fuck. Well, do you put cream and sugar in it? You just put sugar in it, whatever. Whatever you got is fine. Oh, don't, fuck. Jesus Christ. It's just, this isn't a one-night stand, okay? I want to get the coffee fixins you like. They're called fixins, right? Is that a down south term, a chicory term? I don't know. I haven't any fucking clue. I don't drink coffee, so I don't know if it's fixins or what. Mix-ins, fixins, whatever you want to fucking call it. But it's just cream and sugar. That's usually what it's supposed to be. At least I thought, all right, well, I'll get to that in a second. But here, so then Randy's just like, yeah, I like sugar and sugar. I go, well, do you want half and half? Do you want cream? Do you want coffee? Do you want coffee mate? Like, what do you like? And she goes, I don't care, whatever, as long as it's like cold. And I'm like, oh, no. If it's cold, you can put cherry Coke in your fucking coffee. What do you want? Tell me what you want. What you really, really want. Tell me what you want, what you really want. Do you want a coffee with a zig-a-zig? Ah, that's all I need to know. So finally I just bought fucking milk. I was like, all right, you're putting milk in your coffee. I don't know if it's the good stuff, the bad stuff. Because then I said, do you want flavored stuff? Do you want like a weird international coffees thing? Because there's a billion. Listen, if you don't drink fucking coffee and then you go to buy it and walk down the coffee aisle, holy fuck do you get kneecapped by choices. Who the fuck out there? Again, it used to be coffee. It was just fucking ground up tree bark. And they boiled water. That's what the old fucking West dudes, all those Brokeback Mountain dudes, because they fucking just ground up tree bark and they boiled water and poured it on there and they drank it. They didn't know any better because they had cock in their mouth all fucking night. So they're like, yeah, this tastes great. Of course that's going to taste good. You fucking grind up some tree bark and you dump it into a fucking thing and pour hot water on top of it after you've been blowing guys all night long. That's going to taste delicious. That's going to be fantastic. But then you go down the coffee aisle now and it's just like, it's just filled with gay marriage. That's all you've got there in the fucking coffee aisle. It's just this ground and deep roast and Himalayan and fucking and all these other and fucking Pete's and Dunkin' and Boston and all these other fucking brands and I don't know the fucking difference. I don't care. I don't know what a deep roast is or a French roast is or a house blend is or a holiday blend. It's fucking coffee. It all looks the same. It all smells the same. It smells like fucking coffee. And it's like, but I will tell you this though, as a fucking fat chocolate guy, whenever I go, I like Hershey bars. Everybody like, well, you gotta get Cadbury, or you gotta get Nestle's, you gotta get these other things, and it's all chocolate, it all tastes the same. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not the same. It isn't. Hershey's tastes better than Nestle. Nestle tastes different than Hershey. I can tell the fucking difference. And Cadbury just tastes like that fucking, it tastes like those fucking weird Jewish coins chocolates. You ever get those? I've eaten those out of desperation before because I'm a fat dude. I told you I was fat and miserable a million years ago. Now I'm just, I'm sort of half of each. But I mean, when I was a kid, you'd just be fucking starving for candy or anything to put in your goddamn mouth. And I wasn't up on the hills with Brokeback Mountain, so I had no cock to shove in there. So what did I do? I went ahead and I found out I would chew Aspergum. I told you this fucking story, right? There was a product called Aspergum. It was like aspirin in a gum. That's what it was. It was like you chewed it for health. Not me. I chewed it because I wanted some fucking gum. I needed something in my goddamn mouth. Talk about an oral fixation. I'm chewing medicine. That's what I'm trying to fucking do. That's how fat my fucking life is. That's how my mouth works. I better put something in there and chew it. What have I got? Oh, look, Aspergum. Let's chew that up. Oh, what's that? AIDS diet candy? I'll go ahead and knock that down. And that's totally fucking true. You guys know that. It's the long time old joke. There was a thing called the AIDS diet plan, AIDS, and it was candy. And my mom had it, and we ate it. We ate the fuck out of it, man. We'd just find it, and we just wolf it. We just eat it like motherfuckers. Like dummies, because my mom, she'd buy it and then she'd go on the diet, so then it's set on a shelf. And you can't leave fucking chocolate on a shelf too long around 5 fat, hungry kids. Well, we weren't all fat. Scott wasn't fat. Andy wasn't fat. Glenn was a chunk. I was a monster. Lenny was just normal. But it didn't matter. Free chocolate on a shelf. I don't care if you're the skinniest fucking dude ever. I got news for you. You think all the guys at Auschwitz would have turned down free chocolate on a shelf? Absolutely not. And those are some skinny motherfuckers. Granted, skinny, not by choice, I'm sure. Or what if it goes the other route? What if the only thing they were fed was chocolate on a shelf? Oh, like one piece at a time, because that AIDS thing came individually wrapped. Look, these AIDS people got it hard enough naming themselves AIDS. Now I want to say that they're responsible for Auschwitz. I should probably get off their back, right? I mean, they named the fucking thing AIDS diet plan, not knowing what the fuck would happen. And now here I am hanging the fucking war crimes on them. I'm going to step back. I'm going to distance myself. I'm going to take it. You know what? Forget everything I said about the AIDS diet plan being served to the Auschwitz people in the concentration camp. I don't think the Germans were behind it. I don't think they developed it. And let's give them a break. Those people have had a rough time. I don't know if they're still around. Because again, when that hit the fucking fan, they were just like, AIDS is what? I didn't know. I should do some research on that before I try to do a joke. I'm sure a billion guys have done this fucking bit. Now I'm ruining it. Hi. I'm going to stop now. But yeah, man, fucking fucking coffee. You walk down the aisle, and it's just this melange. You're just attacked by bags and bags and brown and red and store brand. And who the fuck? I don't know what's right. I don't know what's right. So again, like I said, I thought it was just cream and sugar. Cream and sugar, that's what everybody got for fucking coffee. And then Randy is there at Dennis's house. This is one thing Dennis doesn't have. Dennis is making, so again, with sausages, that's what I was going to say. Fucking sausages to me, like I like bacon. Because he asked me what I wanted, so I had to come through for him and tell him what I was like, make it some avocado, some bananas, some fucking fresh fruit, some berries, have that. That's a good thing. And he's like, yeah, what do you eat for breakfast? I go, fucking breakfast, I don't really eat it. I go, but I guess I would eat eggs because I actually crave eggs. I've talked about this on the show. Goddamn, I love eggs. I want eggs in my mouth all the goddamn time. Like Aspergum. What if they had Asper eggs? Oh, that's what I need. Eggs that are medicine. I'll chew the fuck out of those. Somebody come up with an egg that solves arthritis or cures my shoulder pain. It's not arthritis. It's just from working out. Because I'm an old man with old joints. And that's a real grim realization when you have that. I wake up and my shoulders hurt. And I'm like, that's going to happen forever. I mean, I'm 50 now. I got 25 more years of waking up with shoulder pain from lifting. And even if I stop lifting, I haven't, I didn't go to the gym in fucking Denver because there was no trainer there and there was no gym to go to. And, what am I going to do? Tell Dennis to take me to the fucking gym? He probably would if he was a good host. But he goes to the Y. That's the weirdest thing to me. And I guess they have a nice Y there, but he's like, yeah, man, I go to the Y. But the good thing is they have a fucking steam room. And I was like, oh, man, you got to take me to the Y at Denver, go to the fucking steam room. Because, again, everybody's all fucking high there because of the fucking dispensaries. I gotta figure somebody's getting baked in the goddamn steam room. What if there's not even a steam? There's not even a steam machine. It's just it's like a hot box where everybody's getting fucking yoked. Everybody's getting bombed out of their fucking minds. So he made sausages. I'm not a sausage dude, but he didn't make patties, he made links. And I've never been a sausage link guy because it reminds me of like Denny's, like some knockoff fucking $3 Grand Slam breakfast. I just don't like it. But I don't know what he had. He had like turkey sausage. It was flavorful. And he made eggs with fucking tomatoes and onions in them and stuff. And I was like, this is delicious. And it was really good. But again, like I said, then 2 hours later, he wants to fucking eat. And I'm like, yeah, can't do it, man. How the fuck did I get into that? Randy? Me? Randy came up here. We flew to Denver. We went there. Oh, because he was asking me what we wanted to eat and what I wanted to have. And I had breakfast, and he made me a waffle. Fucking dude. Jesus Christ. I'm running off the goddamn rails. So So we didn't have anything planned. This is the coolest part. We went to Denver to just fucking hang out. I mean, I was just going to go to Dennis's house, and because I had written him a month ago or a month and a half ago, and I go, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Nothing." And I said, "What about this weekend?" Because a lot of time he's traveling. He's one of those dudes. He's like, "Well, I'm going to be in Italy that weekend, and then I'll be in Norway." Because my friend Dennis retired at 50. He's just fucking. He's retired at 50. How do you say those words? Now, here's the thing. I'm also retired at 50, but not by choice. I'm retired from comedy writing because nobody wants to put me on staff. They're like, nah, yeah, well, you do best. You know what? You should go ahead and enjoy your retirement. I'm like, man, I didn't fucking retire. I mean, Dennis, he's one of those dudes, if he wanted to, he could just buy a boat and sail around for the next fucking 40 years. I'm not that dude. I mean, I could, but it would be a terribly small boat. Oh my God, it would be a rowboat. Because part of me's thought about that. Like, I'm like, there's this tax plan that they're going to pass. And I'm like, man, I wonder if that tax plan is bad for me. And even if it is or it isn't, should I move? Like, I've actually considered moving out of the country now. Because this country's about to collapse, right? And I'm not going to get into that too much. I don't want to fucking taint this show with more political bullshit because the whole fucking world is tainted with political bullshit. And I'll talk about what I want to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it right now. But I just see things trending badly. So I'm thinking to myself, man, what if I lived in Canada? What if, because I get friends in Toronto. I could go live at Ken's house, probably. That seems strong. Ken probably doesn't know that yet. He's probably thinking to himself, yeah, no, me and Angus don't want you here, man, unless you want to be here for like 3 days. But I thought about moving like to Canada, and then I'm like, well, what if I could move to England or some other country? I don't know why. I just have wanderlust. Because I'm 50 with nothing accomplished, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't have any real roots here. I got a fucking apartment. I can get the fuck out of here. Let's travel. Let's move. Let's go. Let's do this, man. I was talking to Randy about it. I'm like, because she just wants to go everywhere too. She's got the same deal. I mean, dude, we were in Denver, and then she went from Denver. She's in Atlanta right now, and then she's going to fucking North Carolina for Thanksgiving. She's going to fucking, and then where else is she going? And then New Orleans. I mean, she's taking like 8 more days to travel. And I'm like, I got to get home and drive strangers around. That's what I got to do. Plus I got to fucking, talk to my therapist. And then I got a fucking physical next week. That's going to be fun, walking into that physical and seeing my doctor. I can't say his name, but Dr. Amir. I won't say his last name. But he's going to look at me. And he's awesome. That guy loves me. He's always fascinated by me and what I do. Hey, well, are you still doing that show? Oh my God, that's fantastic. You do comedy. You still doing comedy? I do, and I am. I'm probably not as successful as I should be or want to be, but still, I'm still doing those things. You still doctoring? I am. So now take your pants off. Fantastic. By the way, that's me saying that to him. Take your pants off, doctor. Doctor. But Randy and I were talking about traveling and going all over the fucking place because she's another one who's just like, yeah, I had to get out of here. You just had that weird bug. And by the way, she's going to Atlanta. Like I said, she's going to fucking North Carolina for Thanksgiving, and she's doing some work there. It's a working trip as well because she's writing her book and she's going to be out there working. But I will tell you this. Then she and I were spending Thanksgiving together. I asked her about a month ago. I go, hey, would you want to come here? Because her family goes and spends the time with her ex's in-laws. What a fucking mess that is, dude. I can't even, like I said, I got lucky. Mine just left. My butler quit and she just fucking disappeared. So there was no kids ever. So I didn't have to go, well, who goes where on what holiday? And you get them on Arbor Day and I get them on Flag Day. And fuck, I can't, that's just some shit I can't keep track of because then I would actually have to do something. I would actually have to pay attention and have a calendar where I'm marking X's on the fucking wall. And it's like, oh, I couldn't possibly, because Den's got that same arrangement. Den's got his kids this week, but then, and he's got a really good relationship with his ex-wife. And so he'll say, hey, look, I'm going out of town for a week. Can you keep them for this weekend? And but again, that's all cool. And Randy's ex is cool. That's all. They're all on great terms. It's just that I can't imagine being 50 years old and asking for permission to do stuff is cool. I wouldn't. That's just not a thing I want or could possibly have. I know I need discipline and I know I need a work ethic and stuff like that. But if I had to keep going, I really wanted to go to a movie on Friday, but the kids are going to be home. Could you possibly watch them while I go to that just would be death incarnate. I want the freedom to hide in my house. That's what I want. I don't want to ever ask permission to do nothing. Hey, could you keep the kids an extra week because I'm just going to sleep? I wish I could lie to you and tell you I had some grandiose plans, but I'm just going to fucking sleep. That's what I'm going to do. And you keep those kids. How about that? Asking permission to nap. Oh my God. See, this is why I didn't have kids. Because you got to get up and give them stuff and put their pants on for them and chop their meat up for them. And I wouldn't mind chopping a kid's meat up. It's just all the rest of it. And I could help somebody with homework. Like all that superficial. Like I could have been a good 50s dad probably. Like I would have been the dad who came home and then sat in his chair and never had to deal with kids unless they wanted to play catch or go fight somebody. Then I'd be on board with that. But if I had to fucking like wash their socks and shit, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to wash my own fucking socks. I'm going to wash some miniature version of me's socks. The whole point of having a kid is so he can wash my socks. That's the point. I just went ahead and had a slave. Hey, let's have 4 slaves so I don't have to do laundry ever again. That seems aggressive and wrong, probably. But that never factored into it. It's not like I didn't have kids because of that reason or whatever. I had a combination. I didn't have kids because I was selfish, and then medical reasons jumped in. But luckily, the medical reasons jumped in before I had to have the conversation about being selfish. So I was like, yay, thank you, medical reasons. But not really. I felt terrible about the medical reasons. But at the same time, inside of me, there was a kernel of relief. You remember Colonel Relief, don't you? He was there. He fought with Major Excitement. Colonel Relief and Major Excitement, they were fantastic. I think what game was that? Aggravation, possibly? It could have been. Aggravation was a great game. That was one of the few board games we played as a family when I was little. Because you got marbles and you can fucking knock a guy down and send him back to his house. That's a simple game. Now they got games like Settlers of Catan and Ticket to Ride, and it's trains, and you're building shit, and you got to know all sorts of maps. In the old days, you just had marbles and a board and some dice. And when you clapped another guy's marble, it went back home. That's it. Your marble goes home. Your marble goes to marble jail. I win. I don't have to buy any property. I don't have to worry about a fucking railroad. Nobody's going to send me to jail. I'm not going to enter a beauty contest. None of that bullshit's going to happen. I'm not going to have a little car with 2 pink and 2 blue things in it. I'm not going to have a kid. No unexpected windfall. It's not Payday, the guy with the weird Gildersleeve mustache. None of that shit's going to happen. I just got aggravation. It's a board and some marbles. The end. Dice. Clink. 3. Oh, look, I hit your marble. Go home. Zoom. You're just trying to free all your marbles from a fucking prison. That's it. It's just like a jailbreak game, but with marbles. It's totally fucking awesome. God, I love aggravation. That's something to play on Thanksgiving. I would love to play it this Thanksgiving. I would love to play it with the huge crowd that I'm going to have on Thanksgiving, except for the fact that, like I said, a month ago, I was talking, because I had to plan, like I said, I had to plan it a month ago. I had to say, Randy, hey, look, what are the kids doing for Thanksgiving? And her kids always go to her ex's parents' house because they have a sky city. I think they're like crazy rich, and they live in a cloud, and they're up there, Lando Calrissian answers the door. That's where they live, because they're fucking loaded. So they go there and they have goose and geese and fucking ham and every other fucking meat known to man, and all sorts of a giant meal and a huge view. I guess they're up like in the hills or the mountains. Like I said, the clouds. They're in a cloud city, folks. Isn't that where Flash Gordon was? Sky City is Lando Calrissian. Cloud City, I believe, is actually Flash Gordon. With Ming the Merciless. Actually, that's who they go with. They actually spend their holidays with Ming the Merciless because Mary married into the Ming family. Or Randy. Randy married into the Ming family. It's how my fucking brain works. Randy married into the Ming family. That's how it works. So then, every holiday, the Mings get your kids. And they go to Cloud City and they relax and they wait for Flash. All right. So a month ago, I said to her, hey, here's the thing. Let's get together. Let's spend Thanksgiving together. And she's like, oh, my God, I love this idea. Because as you know about me, I am constantly in search of domesticism. That's what I'm trying to do. I want to find somebody that I can, cook with. I loved doing that with Jill. We made Thanksgiving dinner a couple of times. Made Christmas dinner. I made meatballs. And it was just, it's heartwarming, and I love it, and it makes me think that I'm loved, and it adds a sheen of normalcy to what is an unnormal situation or abnormal situation, because everybody's fucking commuting, and Jill and I were 30 states away. Randy and I are 2.5 hours via traffic away. There's something to be said for being able to wake up with somebody and look them in the face and get up and make them their coffee, and then they wake up and you start chopping celery and you make some stuffing and you put some cornbread on and you make a turkey together. It's just fucking, that's what Thanksgiving should be. I've talked before about how it smells like Thursday. Like I woke up here I think that was our first Thanksgiving together, you guys. I woke up and I was a little disappointed because it smelled like Thursday at my house. I woke up and there was no cooking, because that's what Thanksgiving is. It's one of my favorite holidays. You get a house that's full of smells and noises, and there's football and family, and I love the California Thanksgiving because it's warm outside, but not super warm. It's like 65, 70, so you can have all the windows and doors open. You're playing music, but you're cooking. You got the stove rolling still. It's still warm in your house. You get the sage smell. You get that thyme and rosemary and parsley and any other fucking Simon and Garfunkel lyric I can come up with. Kathy, I'm lost, I said. But I knew she was sleeping. But I'm empty and I'm aching and I don't know why. So I love that. I love Thanksgiving. I love that part where you're cooking, you're together, it's very family. And I'm sure all of you minor league armchair therapists out there could tell me what it's really about. When I see Shannon tomorrow at noon, she'll tell me what she tells me every year. I know, all right? I know where it's generated from. I mean, when we were kids, we didn't have a normal family life, and so we would go to my aunt and uncles. They were the saviors of our holidays. My Aunt Marge and my Uncle John, we would go over there, and we would have a huge dinner, and then we'd go there for Christmas, and they supplemented my mom's gifts with more gifts because my mom was just trying to keep us out of the fucking clutches of Slugworth and the rest of the guys who work over there at the adoption agency, because the state was going to take us away from her at any time, because we were it was a single parent household, 5 kids, and my mom had to work to try to keep us intact. And then we had a fucking shitty neighbor who would actually call the fucking state services to come over and check on us in the summer, and we always had to make sure that we were around the house and answered the door properly and answered all the questions. My mom would actually drill us on what to say if someone came from fucking child services. Yeah, it was a fun childhood. And that's why when we would go to my aunt and uncle's house, we would have a sense of normalcy. We would see our cousins, and they were extra special and really nice to us, and you'd smell the house, and there was cooking and gifts and football, and it was warm, and downstairs they had air hockey and a fucking pool table. I loved that whole sense of family playground. As a kid, you're of course enchanted with the air hockey and the pool table, but what you're really thinking is it's awesome that you can have unlimited soda, and if someone wants to give you a piece of pie, and if you want to just talk to your aunt or listen to your uncle, and I crave supervision, whatever the fuck. So I crave family. I love it, and that's what Thanksgiving means to me, even more so than Christmas. I would say. So that's important. So that's why a month ago I asked Randy, and I said, look, but would you want to spend Thanksgiving with me? Come down here, because if your family's going away for 4 or 5 days, come to my house for 4 or 5 days. We'll cook. We'll binge watch some shows. We'll watch some movies. We'll go to a couple of movies. We'll get to live a life. And this is a theme I've always talked about in my long distance relationships, and I've talked about it with you guys. You have to cram life into 3 days, and it's extraordinarily taxing on your relationship. Those of you who are not in long distance relationships, people who are, living with someone and you're right on top of one another. That can also happen too. If you're early in a relationship or even later in a relationship, sometimes you can feel like you're right on top of one another, and you're like, oh man, if I could just get a second to breathe and get away from this person, or finally find some room, or I just need to spend some time to myself and read a book. And well, let me tell you, all of that can be true. But at the same time, there's something to be said for going to bed with somebody and throwing your leg over their waist and feeling them breathe as you go to sleep. And then waking up in the morning and going and making their coffee, and then tackling the day together. Whether they're going to go out and do their thing, you're going to go out and do your thing. And these are all things I took for granted. I took it for granted in my marriage. I took it for granted, probably as a kid even. I didn't realize how important it was to me until I wound up a single dude and with nowhere to go. So I said to Randy, I'm like, dude, you gotta, would you want to spend Thanksgiving with me? We can come up, we can cook, and I said, you can come up on Tuesday, so I'll record the show, and then we'll go shopping, and we'll actually fill the house, because whatever, I like the whole ritual, god damn it. And she said, I'd love that. That's going to be amazing. And then, I started making plans and figuring out what I was going to do, because I got to drive a little extra before she comes to town, because if I'm going to take 4 days off, I got to work extra hard in the other days and make sure that's going to happen. It was going to be very difficult with it slamming into the Denver trip, but I could make it happen by driving 2 or 3 solid days in between the time she got here, or even driving while she was here, which is something I never did when Jill was in town, because, again, when you're living life in 3 days, when you're only together 4 days, I didn't want to spend a minute apart. I didn't want to spend a minute away from that person, because it just seems like such a waste. She flies here and I'm going to go drive? It just fucking made no sense. Now, did that get in the way of me financially a little bit? Did it fuck me up? Yeah, but it was my choice. I chose to do it because I wanted to be with her. I wanted to spend time and do that kind of thing. And the same thing with Randy. If she's coming up here, I'll drive extra before she gets here, but I don't want to drive while she's here. But she even said to me, you know what? It's okay if you do. And now, learning from the mistakes I've made previously, I'm like, you know what? That's actually a good idea. I think I can do that. I would actually drive while she was in town, because she can just go here and wrap herself in a blanket and watch some TCM, and then I'll come here and everything will be fine. Well, I'll be happy. If I could drive even for like 4 or 5 hours, I could take an afternoon and do something like that, right? I ask you for permission. And then, so we were planning Denver. We're getting it all squared away. And she's like, I'm going to come up on Wednesday, or maybe I'll come up on Thursday, because we were flying Thursday morning. I go, well, no, we're leaving really early Thursday. And then it looked like she might have a job interview. So she's like, I might be able to meet you there on Saturday. And at that point, I'm just like, all right, man, fuck, whatever. I don't want to constantly chase someone and go, hey, well, all right, well, why don't you do this? But I mean, also at the same time, it's not my life to intervene in. It's like, if she's got real things going on and kids or job interviews and things like that, I'm completely encouraging. I'm like, go ahead. I go, whatever you need to do. You want to meet me there on Saturday? That's fantastic. You want to meet me there even Sunday? We can do that. But there's that little kid inside you that's disappointed because you had plans and all of a sudden they're torn asunder a little bit by things that are out of your control. But what the fuck? What are you going to do about it? Pout and whine? No, you're 50. You got to move on. So she's like, well, I'll come up on like Wednesday night, like, really late. And then we were trying to figure out where she was going to park her car, and I go, well, look, why don't I just fucking pick you up Wednesday in Long Beach? And my favorite part about Randy, she's always so shocked when I offer to do anything like that. Oh my God, you would do that? Well, yeah, you're awesome. I mean, yeah, and also you're sleeping with me. Why the fuck wouldn't I do that? I'm going to come pick you up because guess what? I'm getting something out of it too. Not saying it's gas, grass, or ass. Nobody rides for free. But, if you got two or three, I mean, even one of those, believe me, I want one of those specifically. The other two are in play. Whatever you want to do with the other two is fine with me. But I want one specifically. But it's not a requisite of me coming down to get you. It's not like I don't need ass. But at the same time, if it's getting you means that it's going to be here, I'm thrilled. So I don't. It happens with me with people all the time when I offer to take somebody to the airport or something, and they always look at me queer, like, what? Why would you do? Because you're my friend. Why the fuck wouldn't I do that? And then conversely, when I want to come home and I ask people if they can drive me home from the airport, they're like, no, sorry, can't do it. No, I have to stay in my house because the cable guy might come. Well, you don't have cable, you have satellite. Yeah, it's a long story. There's always, and again, you're 50 years old. There's Uber and Lyft out there. Fucking pay for your own rides. But at the same time, I've reached out to a few people and gone, ooh, this seems fucking weird. But that's because I'm a weirdo, and I think the whole fucking world should stop for me. But anyway, Randy, so I said, I'll come get you in Long Beach. And she said, great, I would love it. So I said, fantastic, I will be there. And sure enough, I went and picked her up. I brought her here for Thursday. We got up. We got ready to go. Oh, I should tell you this. She told me 2 days before we were going to Denver. She's like, oh my God, you're not going to believe this. I said, what? She goes, I decided that I'm going to my friend's house, the co-writer of my book, and I'm going to spend Thanksgiving with them. So I'm not going to fly home with you. I'm going to go ahead and figure out what I got to do and get the hotels. But I'm going to go into Atlanta first, and then she's going to pick me up and take me to North Carolina. We're going to do all this stuff. And she's very excited. I'm listening. I'm like, oh, that's great. It's really cool. I'm fine. I'm glad you're finally getting your book taken care of. You're going out there for some hardcore work. And then there was a beat, and I said, but don't worry, I won't mind spending Thanksgiving alone. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Come with me. I want you to come with me. And I'm like, I'm not. You just told me you're going out there to work. Like, it's a serious work trip. You're going to write the book. She goes, yeah, but her husband's really good. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what that fucking guy wants. Hey, here's a lump from California for you to entertain for 4 days while we write a book. We're going to be very hard at work upstairs. Why don't you let Mike come downstairs and watch Tennessee football with you or whatever the fuck the guy's got on the agenda? And I don't want to get thrust into that fucking position either. And then I'm gonna show up with some weird. And look, I can handle myself anywhere, and I have no strangers. I can walk in and strangers will love me immediately, of course, because I'm me. But there's also the possibility that because it's North Carolina, it could be some sort of regional conflict, and they might hate me. They might hate me right from the jump. I was really excited for her to go work on her book. I'm very happy. I want her to go do that. I want her to go take all this. And also, she's going to New Orleans for a day. She's going to take a train. I mean, it sounds like an amazing trip. It's just that I can't go. I can't do it. I can't take another fucking week off. But that means my Thanksgiving plans bottomed out. So I talked to you today. Well, it's Thanksgiving now, so you're with family and friends or wherever the hell you are. I'm probably more than likely in my apartment. I'm still dividing myself between what I should do and what I shouldn't do. Look, I'm not going to hide. I might just go to movies all day. I'll just get out of the house. Maybe I'll go have Thanksgiving dinner somewhere. But then part of me wants to cook it in my house because I like leftovers. So part of me is deciding whether I should get a turkey breast for the crock pot and just make that happen. Because I'll also tell you this: I have a fucking stove. I've talked about this on here before. I have a range stove, whatever the fuck. It's like it looks like it's 60 years old. Randy said it was an antique when she saw it. She couldn't believe it. She's like, oh my God, this stove is so beautiful. And that's what I love about Randy. I don't know anyone in the world who would go, that's a beautiful stove. But she see things in a way, like, because she loves textiles. She loves stuff from the 60s. She loves that kind of aesthetic. When she can see something, she goes, oh, that's from this era. That's from this era. She saw this fucking stove. She goes, man, that's an old school stove. It's beautiful. And that's great. And the only thing is, I haven't fucking used it in 4 years. I've used the burners on top. I've made eggs and whatever the fuck. I've made steak, whatever you want. Listen, here's the thing that I made. Here's a list of the things I've cooked on top of the range. You guys don't fucking care. I don't either, for fuck's sake. What if I enlist? What if I kept track of it? But as far as baking stuff in the oven, man, I haven't turned the oven on in 4 years. Well, let's check that. Let's see. She left in March 2013. We're now in November of 2017. So that's a little over 4 years. But you know what? Between March and November of 2013, I spent a lot of time putting my head in the oven. So it's done, to this day. Today is the day. It's been 4 years to this day that I stopped turning on the oven. And I don't know if it works. So she would have come over here and we would have gone out and shopped and bought a turkey. Obviously, I would have checked it beforehand. He says, hopefully and wishingly, but I probably wouldn't have because I'm not very responsible. But I was going to figure out if everything worked. But now Like I said, I can make a crock pot turkey, and then I want to make stuffing and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, part of me just wants to go eat somewhere and then go to movies by myself. But then you're by yourself. And I just said, man, I love camaraderie. I love Thanksgiving. I love being together with a big crew. And I've been, I went to Pardo's for Thanksgiving once. That was beautiful. Danielle's parents invited me over, and I went over with them. I went to Pat's for Thanksgiving one time because, again, these people knew I was alone, and they saved me from myself, which was really nice. My buddy Brian Noonan one time cooked a feast out here when he lived here. So it's not like I'm a stranger to going to people's houses. But at the same time, now people have families. They've gotten older. The children are older. I'm sure the children are having friends over. And I don't mean to be that guy. It's like, hey, can I come over and have some fucking rosemary? Hey, you got any cranberry sauce left? I mean, you just feel like a fucking idiot. Hold on, there's a plane that's about to crash into my house. Can you hear it? That seems crazy. So I don't know what I'm going to do for Thanksgiving. Right now, I'm still undecided. If you want to vote, I mean, granted, it'll be Thursday by the time you fucking hear this. What if I did that? I put up a poll. Hey, what am I doing for Thanksgiving? You guys start voting on Friday. Don't worry, I chose this to do this. Because I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to fucking drive. I already told myself that. I'm like, well, you'd probably make some extra money if you took all day Thursday and drove. And I'm like, I can't do that. And granted, I've taken off like 15 of the last 18 days. So that's the thing. Days off lose all meaning at that point. But if you're working only a few days and not working at all, then the days off don't really mean as much. You can't be like, man, I got to relax on my day off. No, but Thanksgiving's different. It's family. And I don't want to be driving people with fucking leftovers in their car and then smelling fucking cornbread sausage stuffing and green bean casserole and mashed potatoes and all that kind of, and just sitting in the car, just like a mess. Because then they think, look, people do make that leap. They just look at you. They're like, "Oh man, you're just sad. I mean, things are terrible for you." And look, that might be true, but at the same time, I don't want some stranger to be able to cast that fucking vote on me. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm up in the air. I'm trying to make it like last weekend in Denver was my Thanksgiving holiday because we had a great fucking time. Like I said, Thursday we just fucking hung out and did a whole lot of nothing. We just relaxed in the house. He cooked dinner. He fucking made steaks one night, which was really good. Then the Friday, oh man, get this. Fucking Friday, shockingly, he gives me a 50th birthday present because I turned 50 in July. Now, I didn't fucking expect it at all. That's not why I was going out there. So you feel weird. You're just like, dude, I didn't get to go to your party. And because I have a thing. I can't just accept a kindness. I have to be like, why would you do this? Why would you ever give me a gift? I don't deserve it. Burn it. Burn the gift. But he hands me a bag and I open it up and it's got a birthday card. I open that up. There's 2 tickets to the fucking Nuggets game the next night on Friday. So Nuggets Pelicans was on the agenda for fucking Friday night, which was amazing. I was excited for that. And then I reach into the bag and I pull it out and there's a fucking Mitchell and Ness Cooperstown authentic 1977 Mike Schmidt Phillies home jersey. God damn, is it beautiful. Beautiful. Go look at the 1977 Phillies. The road jersey's gorgeous. It's that blue powder, kind of a powder blue with a big P on it. But dude, the fucking home pinstripes, like these thick maroon, and it's like a white jersey with maroon pinstripes and then the maroon P on the fucking crest. Oh, goddamn, it's a beautiful jersey. And it reminds me completely of being a kid. I pulled it out. I was like so fucking happy. And I looked at him and I go, this is never going to fit. And he goes, well, try it on. And then I did. And they had to call an ambulance to get me taken out of it because I looked like Chris Farley and fat guy in Little Coat. He's like, well, let me research the different sizes. I go, here's a list of sizes that I could probably get into. One of them is not this. Because I don't know if it was an extra large or a 2X. It might have been a 2X. Now, again, 4 years ago, I get into that 2X. I slide into it smoothly and I look fantastic and I never take the jersey off. And I even said to him, I go, look, dude, I can hang this in my closet with my other jerseys that I'm waiting to slim down and fit back into. Which is no way to go through life. You got a closet full of clothes that you're hoping to fit into at some point. Because I'll tell you what I have. You know what I bought last year? A fucking Clark Gillies New York Islanders road jersey. It's a blue New York Islanders 1981 jersey. It's so gorgeous. It might be the most beautiful thing I own. It's better than my suit. It's a fucking hockey sweater. It's a fucking New York Islanders hockey sweater with the actual Islanders crest and Gillies 9 on the back. Oh my fucking God, is it amazing. And it couldn't fit me less. It looks, I put it on and I get my head through it and then the rest of it, it wraps around my horrible fucking barrel-shaped body, but, because I'm not out with you guys yet. I'm not Fitbitting. I'm not Spencer Maharing. I'm not out going ahead and doing the things I need to do with a David Zawacki and a Casey Murphy. I'm not letting you guys hold me accountable. A Jolene McKillop. Or an Ellen O'Connell. These people are the ones who are stepped up and they said, let's do this, man. And I haven't signed up to do it yet. I only want to do it to fit into my Islanders jersey. I don't give a fuck about my health. I don't care about feeling good or better. Because I'll tell you this, at Dennis's house, man, he's got fucking 18 steps up to my room where I was staying. And because he's got a giant fucking house, you know, and he's got his ceiling has a ceiling. That's how fucking big his house is. I told you, he's got that basement like a Hanna-Barbera. You're just walking, the same background goes around behind you. It's a beautiful, beautiful house. But at the same time, man, you walking up those stairs all day, you know, up and down, up and down, up and down. You're just like, and I'm holding on to the banister. And I told you my knees, I haven't hurt my knees. My knees are just wearing down from fucking years of fucking beating the shit out of them. They're just like, dude, really? Seriously? 18 stairs? Like, they're so fucking mad. And then my knees are starting to make noise again. That sound like you're fucking nut cracking nuts in there. And it's bad. But that's that. That's just the way it goes. I mean, it's all I got in me. So I'm doing that there. But that's the thing. So the Schmitzers, he doesn't fit, but I didn't care. I fucking loved it. And he's like, well, give it to me. I'll do some research and I'll get you a new thing. And we just killed it. We just hung out and did nothing. I went and we went to, dude, because I told you I had a list of restaurants to go to, and we wound up going to one that I had on my list. It was a place called Tokabe. And it's a fucking Native American Chipotle. That's the best way to. And like he's asked me, he's like, "What is it?" That's exactly how I described it. But I've never fucking been there. But I said to him, "It's like a Native American Chipotle." He's like, "All right, well, I'll do that." And he and I went out there. Randy came, you know, obviously she's with me, and we went to this place. And she actually made me laugh because I said it's called Tokabe. She goes, "Tokabe, spell it." And I said, Tocabe. She goes, "Are you sure that's not like? Is that like a native word like Cherokee for Taco Bell?" And I just, with the lettering in it, I just laughed my balls. I'm like, "Oh my god, dude, that's really good." Like that made me laugh. And Dennis and I cracked up. We're like, Taco Bell, yeah, that works. So we get to Tokabe. Look, if you're in Denver or the Colorado area, or if you're an Indian person or a Native American, you should rain dance your way over to fucking Colorado and eat a Tokabe immediately, ladies and gentlemen. Because what they do is they serve you tacos on fry bread. Now, I know what you're saying, fry bread's not healthy. I'll agree with you. But, you know, I'm at Tokabe. How often do I get fucking fry bread? So I got a fry bread, it was a combination of a tostada and a taco. They called it a taco, I think. But it was fry bread with bison meat on top of it, with a corn salsa, a hominy salsa, and then Indian spices. And then a shaman came out and shook a wand over it and blessed it, which was fantastic. And I got that. And then Randy's like, well, you know what? Why don't I get the bison ribs and we can try everything? Because they had bison ribs with like a blackberry adobo sauce or whatever the fuck, and they were gigantic. She got those. We sat down, and the three of us, we you know, because fucking Dennis also got his own fucking fry bread taco, and I ate like a third of mine. I ate half of one of Randy's ribs. She ate half of her rib. She had a bite of mine, and then Dennis had like a part of it. We had to bring it fucking home. It was still there when I left. 5 days later, it's still in the goddamn fridge, and we ate it twice. I heated it up with eggs once. And just fucking ate like the hominy and all that stuff, the bison over the eggs. God damn, it was delicious. It was so good. But go to Tokabe. I'm gonna call it a fucking win, a win-win. I actually took pictures in Tokabe, and look, I'll share this with you. This is totally fucking true. After last week's show, I knew you guys would be on high alert, wondering because this has absolutely happened. Dennis, while I was there, he was talking to my buddy Jimmy O, and Jimmy O listens to the show. And Dennis is like, "Hey," Jimmy says hi. I said, "Great," and he goes, "Hey, he wants to know how you're eating." So I asked you guys to fucking step up, and he is. Jimmy O stepped up. The rest of you are stepping up. And I actually took pictures of stuff that I ate there, and I was going to post it like I used to do. And then I'm like, oh man, I don't want to get fucking yelled at by people. But in reality, I didn't go crazy. But at the same time, you know, you're eating a big fry bread taco. People are going to go, "Come on, Mike, what the fuck?" And I know you're thinking to yourself, is this disingenuous or not honest? Well, not really. I'm telling you now that I ate it, but I didn't eat the whole fucking thing. I couldn't. I ate like fucking half of it or a third of it, and then I ate a fucking half a rib. And is it fast food? Technically, yes. But did I have soda? No, I didn't have soda the whole time I was there. I made sure not to have soda because we went out and ate a couple of times. Another time I'll tell you this. I ate this at the fucking, because I was going to post this because it was weird. We went to the Nuggets game, and I was walking by a stand, and they had an elk sausage made out of elk. I'm like, fuck, I got to eat elk if I'm in Denver. And Randy's like, of course you do. So they make me a fucking elk jalapeno sausage with a little spicy brown mustard on it. And I took a photo, and I was going to post it, and then I went, wait a minute, people are going to fucking yell at me for eating elk sausage. And that's, I guess, kind of antithetical to what I was trying to do and have all of you guys approve it and everything, but I'm not going to put up every meal and have you approve it. I know what I'm doing, but it was cool to eat elk. I mean, I guess I was hoping the coolness of eating elk would supersede the fact that maybe I probably shouldn't eat an elk sausage at a basketball game, but that's the fucking fine line I'm going to walk for the coming months as we all kind of jump in and help police me. Certainly, like I said, it takes a village to raise a Schmidt, and that village, they all go, hey, fuckhead, why are you eating elk after you told us you weren't gonna? Although I got to be honest with you, fuck you and your fucking nonsense. I never once said I wasn't going to eat elk. If there's game on the menu, I'm ordering it. I ate bison and elk. Step up to me if you want some, because those are some lean meats. Lean meats. That's Steam Heat, an old song from the 20s, I think. And I just made it. Lean meats. That's what I ate. But I had some elk, I had some bison, I had eggs. I ate like a normal person. I didn't eat crazy. Now I will tell you this. Yes, shut up. We went to Voodoo Donut. When I heard they had a Voodoo Donut, I'm like, oh my God, Randy, you got to go to Voodoo Donut. And then we went to Voodoo Donut, and guess who didn't go? Fucking Randy. She opted out to stay home and do some work, whatever. But then me and Dennis and his kids went over to Voodoo Donut, and we waited in line. Now, but here's the thing. In the old days, I would go to Voodoo Donut, I would buy like fucking 9 donuts for myself and eat them over the course of 2 or 3 days. But here's what I did there. You know what I bought? I bought a Mango Tango donut. I bought Randy a Blunt donut. I bought a Grape Ape donut, and I bought a Tang donut for Dennis. And what did I eat? I ate the Mango Tango donut, and I ate part of the Blunt donut because Randy couldn't eat it. And then I didn't touch the Grape Ape or the Tang donut. They're still on the countertop as far as I know. Right now, they're still in the Voodoo Donut pink box. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, fuck, Mike, a Mango Tango donut is like a tire filled with mango jelly. You're absolutely right. It's not healthy or good. But it was an exception because it's at Voodoo Donut. And I don't do that all the fucking time, and I won't be doing that going forward. I won't be that guy who goes, well, today's a cheat day or whatever the fuck. I know. Rock bottom night was fucking last week, and it was there, and it was true, and it was real. But it was a Voodoo Donut, and I had it. So, I couldn't close I couldn't board up the whole house just yet. I couldn't fucking close the storm windows yet. I'm not making excuses. I shouldn't eat a Mango Tango donut. But at the same time, if I'm going to eat a Mango Tango donut, I'll eat a fucking Mango Tango donut. But that doesn't mean that I'm not taking this seriously because I'm going to sign up and I'll be fucking working out too because I'm back in town and that's, I'm like Mackie. Mackie's back in town. The Schmidt bites with his teeth. Yeah, and he eats that Mango donut. All right, so here, Mango Tango and that Schmidt bites. Shut up. All right, so. But we went there. We went to Tokabe. We went to Voodoo Donut. We cooked at the house. He cooked steak. And when he makes steak and Brussels sprouts with a little avocado on the side. See, that's healthy. I was gaining lessons from watching Dennis cook because he cooks. He likes to cook. And in my head, I'm like, this is the shit I got to do for myself at my fucking house. Make eggs in the morning. Make eggs in the morning. I'm still awake. Ha! Little Fritz and the Tantrums for you. All right, so I'm going to just bust out all these little fucking songs for no reason. So he made steak in the morning, eggs in the morning, I should say. And then we had steak for dinner with Brussels sprouts and avocado. With the eggs, I added some avocado on the side. It was great. I did police myself quite a bit. I didn't go crazy when I was there. I didn't get to work out and do a lot of cardio. But I did a bunch of cardio. I think one day I got 12,000 steps in because we did some school. Oh, that was fucking awesome. We went down to downtown Denver. And we went up at the Brown Palace, which is like this, which sounds disgusting. Look, Brown Palace sounds like slang for a shit house, doesn't it? Right? It's like if there was some fucking, like if there was a porta potty, that's a horrible name for it. I'd call it, all porta potties should now be referred to as Brown Palaces. Hey, dude, I gotta head over to the Brown Palace instead of the fucking porta potty. Because people will say the shitter or the shit house, and that's not acceptable in polite company. But if you say the Brown Palace, that's more than acceptable in polite company. That makes it look like you walk in there and a butler wipes your ass. I'm on board with that. But the Brown Palace is like this old-timey famous joint, so we stopped in there and had a drink. But we walked all over the place, went to the State House, went to the Capitol building, went up and down. This is my favorite part. Went to the Capitol building, and everything was closed. But that didn't deter me and Dennis and Randy because we just found up taking the stairs instead of the elevator and sneaking around, and nobody stopped us because there were no senators to assassinate, so they figured nobody was in danger. We were just going to go up and look at shit. So we walked into the State House, and that's fucking, it's always impressive. I don't give a fuck where you are. I did it in D.C. We were in the Senate's chambers. We walked around, me and Francis. But here in Denver, man, we walked into the State House. It's empty. But it's still a fucking state house. All these leaders on stained glass windows and portraits and shit like that. And here's what I kept doing. We'd walk into the state house. We're up in the balcony. And I just go, aye. All those opposed, nay. And it would echo through the whole building, which I loved doing. And then I made Randy do it. I said, all right, Randy, vote aye. And she's like, what? I said, vote aye. And she goes, aye. I go, and all those opposed? She looks at me and I go, all those opposed? She goes, I just voted aye. I go, vote nay. She goes, nay, because I'm making people play my stupid game. And then we tried to go up to the actual Capitol dome, but it was closed and all the doors were locked. We tried to bribe a maid, tried to bribe a janitor, but they wouldn't help us out. So then we wound up in a place where it was just this, hey, look at all the cool stuff from Denver. Like they had like a mini mine where they showed all the mining towns, and they had like a plastic fucking demo of a fish. Like they're like, here's the state fish, here's the state bird, here's the state butterfly, here's the state plant. Then they had, did you know square dancing is the state fucking activity of Denver, or the state dancing? And then you press a button, and it's got a video of actual people square dancing, but it's from 1971. So you're watching it, you're like, all of these people are dead, and it's not even a comforting thought or a sad thought. It's sobering thought, certainly. I mean, they live on forever. You press a button and these dead people have to dance for you forever. For the rest of their lives, or the rest of eternity, they're just sucked into that goddamn machine. You press a button and they got to do a fucking Alaman left, even in death. They're exhausted. They just want to rest. And I'll tell you what, they thought they had that day off because the building was closed, but we were sneaking around. And look, if anybody's going to find the square dance button, it's going to be me. If anybody's going to make corpses Alaman left, it's going to be me. I'm going to find it. I'm going to sniff that out. You can bury it as far deep as you want in your Capitol building, but I'm eventually going to find the button that makes dead people dance. So sure enough, I hit the button. I hit it like 3 times, and I just kept doing it to annoy Randy and Dennis, but they never noticed. Like I hit it, and it would plays for like a minute and a half, and it stopped, and then I hit it again. And they're looking at other displays, and I'm thinking they would be like, "Hey, my Hanaman left, and I go went no, face your partner, do-si-do." Like I thought they would get a reaction out of them. They didn't even fucking care. Like I'm just pushing this button, playing it over and over. They didn't fucking care at all. They didn't care that I was making dead people dance because the power I had, the power I wielded. You know what? For that 5-minute window, I was in charge of the undead. I would push a button and force them to do my bidding. Now, apparently my bidding was always square dancing, but still, I could push that button and make it happen. Boom, Alaman left with your partner. Boom, and a do-si-do, and a go, we go. It was gorgeous, but everybody in that video is dead. We're walking through. They got displays of... And so we come to the end of this hallway. There's a huge portrait of John Denver. And if you know who John Denver is the Oh God guy. He's the Rocky Mountain High guy. He's the Thank God I'm a Country Boy guy. Great songs, underrated actor. He was really good in Oh God. I won't go as far as Randy, who said he was robbed of the Oscar for Oh God. I would have to look at who else was against him that year if he was even nominated. I think George Burns won for Oh God, didn't he? But that's just bullshit. That's just them going, hey, he's going to die soon. And then the joke was on them. He lived like another 30 years. Oh, man. They felt stupid. I got to look that up. Whoever George Burns defeated for the fucking Oscar, they probably went, it's all right. Give the old man his due. He's going to be fucking dead in an hour. And then sure enough, the guy lasts 30 more years, long enough for there to be rust on his Oscar. And all the other actors probably are just furious at him. They're like, fuck you for stealing my Oscar, old man. Just die already. Jesus Christ. He's another one, like Manson. George Burns smoked cigars and was an asshole. His whole entire life. He probably was an asshole. Might have been a nice guy. I don't want to go that far. But he smoked cigars his whole life. He died at, 101? And I talked about it on the show before. There was like, he would go into the hospital. They'd be like, oh, George Burns was up and around today. He was joking around with the nurses. No, he wasn't. Please don't lie. You're not going to keep us all happy. Nobody out there is in mourning going, oh my God, I hope George Burns is okay. Nobody's day was going to be ruined if they thought George Burns had a coma. He was a fucking 100. It was okay for him to die. And it was okay for him to lay in a hospital room like a goddamn mummy and expire and not talk to anybody and not pinch the nurse's bottom and not tell him a joke about his uncle or whatever the fuck he did in his golden twilight years or shine up his Oscar or whatever the fuck. It's okay for an old mummy to go in and die. He doesn't need to be fucking kissing the nurses or blowing them and brighten bits. They said he was reading the paper. That was my favorite part. He's reading the paper and getting material every day. No fucking way. Please don't. Because I'll tell you what, if that is true, I'm shamed because I haven't read the paper to get material in fucking years. I'm only half his fucking age. That cat was 100. They said he was going through the paper and writing material. And I'm like, I'm not seeing any of this material. I'm just seeing a guy making faces with a cigar in his mouth. That's all I'm fucking seeing. There's no bits. I don't know what. I've read the paper from fucking pillar to post, from cover to cover, from front of A1 to the back of F6, where the classifieds are. And I've never seen a joke about somebody putting a cigar in their mouth and making a face. That story has not existed in any newspaper in a fucking America or any other goddamn place. I just said, fucking America. I got a listener named Diane who keeps writing me. She goes, you're inventing a new language. Like, you keep putting fucking in the middle of certain syllables, and it's great. And I'm like, I apologize. She goes, no, I think it's great. Keep doing it. So there, I just did it without thinking, fucking America. Nice. But just let George Burns die. He could just die. That's fine. But John Denver, anyway, is his pal in that movie, Oh God, which is actually a good movie and interesting. And I must admit, I think George Burns is his best work. Granted, I hate everything else he did, so probably it's not good for me to say that's his best work because it's the one thing I liked. Although, isn't he in the Sunshine Boys? I didn't watch the Sunshine Boys. Didn't they just remake the Sunshine Boys too? It was like Walter Matthau and George Burns in the Sunshine Boys, and they made it now. It was like Alan Arkin and another Arkin and maybe a Baldwin in the Sunshine Boys, the Sunshine Triplets, whatever the fuck. I didn't see it. But again, it's just because Hollywood is bankrupt and they're bringing up all these properties. Like they're remaking Nightmare on Elm Street again, from what I heard. And now they're talking about making a Watchmen TV series. It's like, Jesus fucking, can somebody write a new project? Could you do that? Now, I say that fully confident of the fact that I haven't gone to see 3 Billboards yet, which I cannot wait to fucking see. And also I want to see Paul Thomas Anderson and Daniel Day-Lewis's next movie, which is called like Purple Flower Passion or some bullshit. I don't know. It comes out in a couple of weeks here in LA, and I can't wait to see it. Actually, it might be next week. Might be this weekend. Holy fuck. Maybe I'm going to see it. That's what I'll do on Thanksgiving. If it opens on Thanksgiving, I'll see Paul Thomas. You know what? I just solved it. I'm going to see Paul Thomas Anderson's movie. You know, you get your fucking relatives. Next time, you know, if your mom gives you shit and your dad sneezes into his food and your uncle's being a dick, think about me. I'm spending Thanksgiving with Paul Thomas Anderson and Daniel Day-Lewis. My feet up. Not my feet up on a chair. I put my feet up because I'm in a theater. I'm not an animal. I don't put my feet on the chair in front of me. That's a fucking monstrous move, and I don't care for it, as you know. But let me ask you this. What do you do when your friends do it? That's a weird thing. Because it wasn't Dennis who did it, but his kid did it. Like his daughter, she put her feet up on the chair in front of her. And part of me was like, that's just filth. Like, what are you doing? Where were you raised? But I also know Dennis, and he's a good dad, and she's got all A's, and she's a gymnast, and she's going to get scholarships, and she's an amazing kid, and she's brilliantly smart. And, but I just, so I gotta, you know what I did? I gotta be honest, I backed off. I've told strangers to take their feet off the table, and I didn't do it with her. But actually, that's bullshit, because I've honestly, in my old years as I've cocooned myself, I've stopped getting involved in those sorts of conflicts. I haven't gone ahead and volunteered myself and gone forward and said, ha, this is the bad thing. Because I'm not everybody's fucking hero. I can't wander in and tell people to get feet off of tables and chairs, and I don't know who's got their feet on tables. I don't know what kind of... What am I, in Brazil? What the fuck am I? Where everybody just no regard for furniture, everybody's upside down. It's all kind of Scotsy, and the whole fucking everything's spun around. Nobody knows what the fucking makes sense of it. But my point is, I'm not your hero, folks. I can't be that guy. And I know you're thinking to yourself, oh, Mike, you're spending your fucking Thanksgiving with Paul Thomas Anderson and Daniel Day-Lewis. Why don't you spend it with Thor? Well, here's the reason I don't, because I just spent fucking time in Denver with Thor. That's right. I saw Thor Ragnarok. That was the theater I went to where the kid had her feet up on the chair. And I know you're thinking to yourself, Mike, what'd you think of the movie? Well, I didn't pay much attention to it because I just kept staring at her feet up on the chair and going, I got to act on this. I got to go ahead and get jumped involved. But again, I'm not your hero. No, that's bullshit. The fucking movie was amazing. Thor's amazing. I mean, it's just... It's a miracle. It's funny because, again, you know why it's a miracle? Because it made me fucking want to watch Thor. It made me think something about Thor. It made me think I liked Thor because he's funny. He's fucking funny in it. And he was funny in the first Thor, but it didn't have any fucking plot. And it's just him. He likes coffee. He throws a cup. He fights a robot, whatever the fuck. And then I didn't see Dark World because I'm not a space dude. And that's all up in fucking Asgard. And there's frost giants. Now you would think intrinsically I would be the kind of guy who'd want to see a movie filled with frost giants. And you're right. Don't think that I'm not thinking to myself, good Lord, I hope Paul Thomas Anderson and Daniel Day-Lewis fight frost giants. That would be perfect for that fucking movie. Although it's about fashion. Turn to the left, fashion. Right, fashion. I'll tell you what, here's the problem. When they fight the frost giants on the other side of town, this is the Goon Squad, and they're coming to town, so beep, beep. All right, so here's the thing. I went and saw Thor. It was fucking amazing. I loved it. I loved every second of it. The Hulk was great. Valkyrie was great. The reveal of a new hero in the Marvel Universe. And Cate Blanchett, everything that she did was fucking awesome. I didn't quite care for bald henchman who Cate Blanchett flipped to her side or whatever the fuck he was really funny when he's bragging with the chick. Look, I'm spoiling this whole movie. Fuck it, who cares? I care. I will not spoil. Loved it. Go see Thor and stick around for their 2 scenes after the credits. And let's talk about this for a second. Thor, really funny and great. A guy who's kind of like a blue thing covered in rocks, also funny and great. Hulk, funny and great. Valkyrie, amazing. But holy God, Jeff Goldblum. Jesus Christ, that's a dude. He's just like Michael Keaton. He's just money in the fucking bank. No matter what he's doing, you're on board and you're like, yep, that's it. Goldblum's the man. I will pay to watch him do anything. And here's the thing. Here's the tragedy. You know, he's in fucking LA. He's performing all the fucking time here. That dude is here. He's got a piano show and you can make reservations, go watch him play piano. He actually poses for photos. My good friend Brandy Posey loves him. She's like Goldblum obsessed. And she's got millions of photos of herself Goldblum adjacent and then hugging him and posing and she's just on board and I see those photos. I'm like, how the fuck am I not going there? Well, because then I would fucking hug Goldblum and I don't know if that's going to go over big with Goldblum. Although he looks like the kind of good, he'd enjoy it. He's not even, all right, let's put it this way. Jeff Goldblum is like weirdly sexual. Like, and I don't mean like sexual. I mean, like even to me, like I'm like, that guy's hot. Like, and I don't know why, but there's a thing about him because it's his brain and his body and everything. The whole package. Goldblum is just fucking... He just seems like the coolest dude on the planet, and sexy, and men want to have a beer with him, and women want to fuck him, or men want to fuck him, and women want to have a beer with him. I think men and women want to have a beer with Goldblum, and then all go home and fuck him. Just make a big Goldblum fuck pile. That's what they're looking for. He's just got that fucking thing, and everything he does in this movie is perfect. Everything, and he plays off this fucking stoic chick. It's just genius. Go see Thor. That's my point. Was that a point? Didn't seem like much of a point. The hell was I talking about before I got into that? We talked about somebody, and fuck, John Denver. God damn it! So we're in the Capitol building, and there's a big picture of John Denver on the wall, right? And because Rocky Mountain High was named like I guess it's the backup national anthem of Colorado, which is really hysterical. Like they decided in the 70s or the 80s, they're like, well, hey man, let's make this kind of like the second state song. And there's actually a button on the wall, or a bucket where you can put money in, and this is fucking crafty. It's got both songs listed. It's like, what do you think should be the national anthem or the state song of Colorado? One of them is Rocky Mountain High by John Denver, and then the other one is like 16 Tons by John Henry or whatever I mean, like literally, it's one of those songs written in like 1860. You know what I mean? Like, oh, grab your shovel, let's go to the mine, Froggy went a courtin', like all that bullshit. And that, because they picked state songs back then because that was when people thought they needed a state song. You know what they should do right now? This would actually galvanize us as a nation, or it might polarize us even further. Why don't we just have a revote on everything? State bird, state fish, state fucking song. Can you imagine the state songs what would be in play? And how many nominees they'd have? Because right now they do that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing and everybody gets to fucking vote. Let everybody vote on a fucking state song. State song, right? What would be the state song of California? Would it be... No, I don't think it would be California by Phantom Planet, who I'm thinking of. Is that Phantom Planet or that's Rooney? No, it's Phantom Planet. California, California, here we come. Hi, I just yelled in my house. But like I'm sure there's some Kanye song that would stand out and be like Illinois'. But here's the thing. No other state could have that song, and no other state could have that artist. So Kanye's from Chicago. Illinois claims him. Illinois would get a Kanye song, or he would be in the mix. He'd have to be in there for voting. Biggie would be in New York. In California, you'd have like the Eagles, or the Beach Boys, or any other fucking great band from out here. Any rapper band, Van Halen. How about that? Well, oh my God, what Van Halen song would be most appropriate? Beautiful Girls. That's a good. That's it. That's the new state song in California. Beautiful Girls by Van Halen off Van Halen 2. And by the way, anybody right now under the age of 30 is like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Who's Van Heflin? It's like, no, see, that was what parents said at the time when we were like Van Halen fans. You can't do that same joke. So John Denver's on the wall, and it's got the vote there. It's like Rocky Mountain High, or, literally like, Denver is my love and Jesus loves me too, like all that bullshit. So they got that fucking song. But the thing is, they got the bucket. It's like, which do you think should be the song? Put $1 in for your vote. And of course, there's only dollars in the fucking Rocky Mountain High one, because anybody who would remember the mining song from the 1800s is carrying around scrip. Like, they don't have any fucking dollars. They just got like a drawing of a president or something, or some silver note, or they just sprinkled gold dust in there. Here's some ore that I was able to mine. That's what I vote with. Fuck you. Why just make Denver the song? Revote everything. Vote it all. Open it all up to everybody. But here's my favorite part. So we're up there. There's a plastic fish and like a plastic spider and a fucking all these displays of and prominent displays. Here's a song bucket for dollars for John Denver. There's a huge portrait of John Denver on the wall. We're standing there. And Dennis and Randy go over to look at the John Denver portrait. And they're talking, because also next to it, there's all these deeds and original mining stuff. And then there was some dude, they had a picture of Buffalo Bill Cody. You know who that is? He was, I guess he ran a circus. Dennis had to explain to him. I mean, I knew who he was, Buffalo Bill Cody. He was like I didn't know if he was a famous outlaw for real, or he was a cowboy, or what the fuck. And then Dennis kind of briefed me on it, and then I read the thing on the wall. But dude, like 30,000 people stood in line to see his body when it lay in state. And that sounds like an impressive achievement, but... that's fucking 1811 or whatever the fuck. What are they going to do? Sit home and do nothing and freeze? They're going to write mining songs and hope they get picked by a state? No, that's the thing. You just go stand in line to go see Buffalo Bill Cody's corpse. And when you think to yourself, man, that's a lot of people, 15,000 people to go see a guy's body lying in state, just Buffalo Bill Cody, they probably just wanted to see what Cody had on. But that's the thing. Nowadays, they'd just send 4 TMZ reporters. They go, what an ugly coat. And then you'd see the picture on the internet and nobody'd fucking care. So you can't really judge whether Buffalo Bill Cody was a popular guy or just a cure for boredom. There's a bunch of people sitting in their house going, hey, what do you want to do today? I don't know. You want to fuck again? Nah. I mean, we're tired of fucking. All right, well, then let's go look at Buffalo Bill Cody's corpse. By the way, your marriage, go find a counselor. If your marriage has reached the point where you're like, I'm tired of fucking you, I'd rather go see a dead cowboy, then by all means, go talk to somebody about the state of your relationship. The status of your relationship? Or your relationship state. Like, let's vote on a state relationship. Who's got a state relationship out there? I vote for the couple who can't fuck but wants to see a dead cowboy. That's the state relationship of Colorado. So Randy and Dennis go over to take a look at the fucking wall. They're looking at the Denver. They're looking at these different things. And there's a thing right next to me. And it's like a weird display case. and it says it contains like a proclamation, and apparently there's an astronaut who went to the moon from Denver. He was on Apollo 11, Apollo 16, Apollo 9. I don't know, one of those fucking Apollos, whichever one went to the moon and didn't crash. But in this thing, little small print, it says certified here is a signature of the astronaut or whoever the fuck went there, and a certified moon rock from his trip to the moon is located in the case above. And right above this parchment, there's dudes, there's a fucking moon rock in a nondescript wooden container, just sitting there in a display case. No big sign, no fucking lights. How the fuck are you gonna put up an 18 by 20 portrait of John Denver, a plastic bird, a bunch of fucking documents of people who bought ore a million years ago, and you downplay the fucking moon rock? Because literally, Randy and Dennis over there go, hey, there's a moon rock over here. And they're like, yeah, okay. I go, no, fuck that. Fuck John Denver. This is a piece of the moon. Like, who downplays that? You know what? I shut down the whole fucking Capitol building. That's at the fucking entrance. You got to look at it when you walk in. That should not be shoved up in a room in a fucking case like the goddamn Ark of the Covenant. Fuck you. Uncrate that motherfucker and put it in the front where everybody can see it. It's a fucking piece of the moon. There's a piece of the moon here. You can't undersell that. Nobody could possibly be going, oh, literally, there's 5 guys in the world who could go, no big deal. Fucking John Glenn, Buzz Aldrin, and the rest of these motherfuckers. That's it. They're the only ones who can pretend to not be impressed by the piece of the moon that's in a goddamn supply closet in the Denver Capitol building. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Capital of Colorado, they put, first of all, I don't even know how these hillbillies got a piece of the moon to begin with. Aren't there better places to put it? One of these coastal cities, New York, LA, fuck flyover country. You don't deserve a piece of the moon. No more. You've ruined this country. You do not deserve any pieces of the moon. But Jesus, I talk about a no-sell. Again, I'm pushing a button and watching square dancing for fucking 15 minutes. It's a bigger display than a piece of the goddamn moon. Furious. So I bring them over. I go, hey, there's a piece of the moon. They're like, yeah. And I go, no, there's a piece of the moon in this container. And they walk over, they look at it, and look, it's a small piece of the moon. Certainly, it's not like a fucking cheesecake-sized slice of the moon. It's not a handful of moon dust. It's not a sewer grate size piece of the moon. It's a tiny speck of the moon. But I don't give a flying fuck. It is still from the moon. And don't come at me with your Capricorn 1 O.J. Simpson bullshit. You and Elliot Gould can take a fucking walk because we went to the moon, goddammit. I prefer to believe it. I don't care what you say. Step off, man. And the government did not give AIDS to the Tuskegee Airmen and whatever the fuck else happened. I don't want to hear your conspiracy bullshit. Hold your tongue. Don't stop clacking a wagon here right now. Mike, dear sir, I don't know if you're aware of this moon nonsense. Shut up. I saw a piece of the moon. I will not hear differently. I also saw a plastic fish. All right, so I bring them over, and they were not nearly as impressed as I was with the piece of the moon. And then I spent the next half hour going, there's a piece of the moon upstairs. Like, literally, I would see people go, did you know there's a piece of the moon upstairs? There is a piece of the moon upstairs. I know you're down here eating in a snack bar, and I'm sure you think that vending machine is the pinnacle of American achievement. However, if you go up 3 floors, I know you don't like stairs, sir, but if you could go up 3 floors, if you could tear your face away from that fucking Hostess fruit pie, if you could put down that can of Coca-Cola that you bought out of a machine and you thought was a miracle, if you go 3 floors up, you will see a piece of the motherfucking moon. On a fucking column that, quite frankly, if you saw it in your garage, you would throw to the curb. Such disrespect for the moon. So I would tell everybody there was a piece of the moon and nobody cared. And then we go to leave the Capitol building. One of the main reasons, Dennis, we went in the front and he said, hey man, there's a plaque and it tells you that you're now a mile high if you go there. And so we wanted to find that. It was on the stairs outside. But as we're heading out the exit, get this, dude. First of all, Dennis... here's who Evil Dennis is. Like I told you, the guy retired at 50. I mean, he's just a fucking, I guess he's a socialite. He's known in Colorado. Here's how I know. Because he's telling me, he's like, yeah, Kelly used to work for the governor. So the governor's a friend. He's been to the house a few times. I'm like, Jesus fucking, why am I in your house? Why am I even close to your kids' bunk beds? Like, you shouldn't allow me in here. The governor's never going to come back now that he knows I'm upstairs. So he tells us all that, and then we go to this fucking Capitol building. We go to walk out. There's the governor in the lobby. The governor is there having a kind of an impromptu press gathering as he was doing a tribute to some people who feed the homeless. It was like a group of people who, I don't know if they run shelters or what they do, but they take care of disadvantaged families, and he was issuing a proclamation saying that they were doing very good works and that the state recognizes them for their achievements. And they had a cake to eat, and there was cameras and all these people there. So we waited in the lobby because Dennis was going to say hi to the fucking governor. Because then he hopped to it. I said, hey, the moon's upstairs. He goes, I don't give a fuck. There's a John Denver picture on the wall. We go downstairs. He's like, ooh, I know the governor. Well, good for you. But I wanted to get a photo with the governor just to go, hey, just because how stupid it would be if you guys went onto the Facebook fan page and you were like, Mike met the governor of Colorado somehow. How did that happen? But unfortunately, the governor was being whisked away right after the press conference. Dennis, because Dennis knew all of his fucking handlers. So Dennis walks up there like, Dennis, which was fucking hilarious to me. And he's shaking their hands and he's talking. And he does that rich white guy thing where he leans over and talks into their ear and they talk into his ear and they both laugh. You have no idea what it was. Probably some joke about the blood of the poor. I mean, I have no idea. But the two, like literally, he walked up and there's like three dudes and they all Dennis and they shake his hand and he leans forward. He whispers in the dude's ear. The governor's there talking. And then Dennis comes over and he goes, hey, they're going to whisk him away. He goes, so yeah, we're not going to get a chance to talk to him, but you know, and I was like, to me, I was just like, trust me, I know you know him. I saw what just happened. Like literally guys who work for the governor looked at you and went, hey, Dennis, like it was so, believe me, you got nothing to impress me with at this point. But yeah, we were downtown to school. Like I said, we went to fucking Brown Palace. We went all over the place. It was really great. Just a fun fucking time, man. And then, like I said, all around us, celebrities are dying. Malcolm Young died. I don't even think I fucking talked about that. Rhythm guitar player for AC/DC, dementia at 64. But that's gotta fuck. You know what, dude? If you're a rock star, dementia's gotta be the worst way to go. Like, you want to die of fucking AIDS or a shotgun blast to the head. That's the way you want to do if you're a fucking rock star. You know, because you never remember your good times then. You're like, you reminisce about them, then maybe you fucking, you use your toe to pull the trigger and you fucking you spray your brains all over the goddamn wall. Or you get AIDS, you can just lay there going, I remember all, and then you go through the thousands of people you fucked and try to figure out who was the unlucky one, who was the bad penny, who was the sour Pez that fucking gave you AIDS? God damn it, if that doesn't catch on, I'll be very furious. Who was the sour Pez that gave me AIDS? But as a rock star, you can sit there and go through your files and go, I fucked him, I fucked her, I fucked him, I fucked her. Who could it have been? It's a mystery. Then it's kind of a game. Then you're dying of AIDS and it's also kind of fun. You distract yourself. But if you've got dementia, you forget all your rock star bullshit. That's terrible. Malcolm Young probably fucked like 18 girls at once. He was probably laying under just a pile of tits. And he's just like, this is the greatest moment of my life. Until the next day when he was under a pile of 20 tits. I mean, like, damn, that's fantastic. Malcolm Young just fucking totally naked and just women just with their mouths all over him. There was like, you ever see the cupping? You ever see when somebody goes to get a massage and they get cupping and they get the cups on to pull their flesh up? Malcolm Young had that with just like a whole Catholic girls high school. They just cupped him with their mouths, like all over them. They were of age, by the way. I don't want to say a whole. It was the faculty of the high school. Please don't think that I did that. I don't idealize young women in a sexual way because God knows I'll get fucking thrown in jail at this point, and rightfully so, motherfucker, if you really mean it. But we're all just talking at the speed of our head and we're just having fun, correct? Yes. So all right, let's put it this way. Malcolm Young went to a sorority house. How about that? Is that better for you people? He went to a sorority house and got cupped by all of the sorority girls with their mouths. So he's got all that shit going on, but then he gets dementia. He fucking forgets it. That fucking dude, he doesn't even remember For Those About to Rock. Like, if you went up to Malcolm Young just before he died and you went, For Those About to Rock, he'd go, what? Like, he would have no idea. He wouldn't know to go boom or we salute you or fucking anything. And if you said to him, hey man, it's a long way to the top if you wanna, and he'd drool on himself. And you'd go, rock and roll, fucking Malcolm, what the hell, man? And I don't know why I'm mad at him for getting dementia. I should be mad at fucking whoever runs dementia from Hieronymus Bosch paintings or some Circle of Hell. I don't know who the fuck it was. Because I don't want to say Jesus is in charge of dementia. Because that would just be bad, right? Jesus only does good things. That's what I heard in that fairy book that I have to read. I don't have to read it when people tell me about it. And they're like, hey, Christians think that pedophiles should be in the Senate. All right, so never mind. Don't fucking comment on that. I'm talking my head is spinning. But Malcolm Young died. Fucking DeLaReese, Mel Tillis, Manson. Fucking Manson died. Manson and Malcolm Young. That's... man, how does Manson not get fucking dementia? Malcolm Young has dementia. Manson, man, he's got no dementia. He doesn't realize that, he just sits in his cell and he's just like, yeah, I told 9 people to kill everybody. And then I'm sitting here in the fucking house. I told him to do creepy crawlies. He crawled through everybody's fucking house. Goddamn Manson. Remember, I think I talked about being a Manson. Like, remember I said everybody on the bus should take their shirt off and yell my name or some dumb shit? I could have been a cult leader if I would have just applied myself. I could have done that. And I wouldn't have had you guys kill anybody. Maybe I wouldn't have. Who knows? Maybe I would have sent you out on the loose. But we were there. We had a fantastic time. in Denver. It was fun. I will say this: we went on Sunday. We went out to some mall, Pearl Street, Pearl Saw Mall. I don't know what the fuck it was called, but it was it was an outdoor thing. It was like Third Street Promenade in California, and we just walked around, looked into stores and stuff for a while. Then we went to this Mexican restaurant. We went to this place called the Rio Grande. And look, I shouldn't say them by name because I'm about to be not very kind to them. But it was a few of us. It was me and Dennis and his wife, and then her friend Lori, and then her sister and the kids, and Randy and me, and we ordered our food, man, and it took an hour to get Mexican food. Like, how hard is it to make fucking Mexican food? And then I'm getting antsy, and you know me, but I'm with strangers. I'm with people who don't know me, except Dennis knows me. If it was just me and Dennis, I would have gone, dude, what the fuck is going on here? But I'm with, young people, and I don't want their sensibilities to be hurt when I start freaking the fuck out. But finally, one of the waiters comes out, and this is at like the 50-minute mark, and says, hey, you know what? Your food is next on the list. Now, I don't know what that means. Next on the list to be cooked, next on the list to be carried out, next on the list to be executed. I don't have any fucking idea how this kitchen runs their business. All I know is it's woefully inadequate. So I start to get a little antsy, as I'm prone to do. And then they come out, and a waiter starts bringing the food out. He goes, hey, man, I'm sorry. This is a really bad night for us. So I just, this is a really bad night. We got hammered. A lot of people came in. So I just wanted to let you know this is a bad night for us. He says it 3 times. And it's all I can do to just go, wow, it's a bad night for you. We're actually paying to hear your garbage. How about that? It's a bad night for you. We're paying to eat this food. That's how bad our fucking night is. We sat here for an hour, and they put the fucking plates in front of us. Because I even said to the waitress when she came over to say, hey, your food's next on the list, I said, next on the list to be cooked, or next on the list where it's sitting there and it's on a shelf somewhere. And she's like, no, it's about to come out. I said, okay, great. Because I fucking knew. I've been to restaurants. I'm 50 years old. I'm a fat guy. I'm well familiar with it. I worked in fucking restaurants. I know what's up. Sure enough, they bring the food, and she starts putting it down in front of everybody. And I'm looking at it, and I realize, first of all, they get his son's order completely wrong. Secondly, they get his daughter's order completely wrong. Third, they start putting down the food, and I literally say, hey, look, is this cold? Is it hot? Like, what's going on? And Randy goes, no, it's okay. And I go, no, I'm not asking you if it's okay. Because everybody does that get along thing where they're like, oh yeah, it's no problem. We waited an hour and so we got our food finally. And I said to Randy, because she ordered crab and shrimp enchiladas, which is not a dish you want to eat fucking cold. So I said to her, I go, honestly, how is your food? And she goes, well, it's just okay. And then Dennis gets his food, and Dennis goes, well, all right, you know what? Let's calm down. We all got our food. Let's be happy. It's fine. They're busy. It happens. And because Dennis is Mr. Matter of Fact. And because I'm in his town, I will defer to him. I will go ahead and fucking go, hey, all right. Because again, we're with his family. It's me and Randy. I'm not going to take control of the fucking situation, but God knows I want to. Because, again, first of all, waiters should never come over and say, hey, it's a bad night for us. I don't give a fuck if it's a bad night for you. These are paying customers. Hi, I'm an old uncle who's griping and moaning. But sure enough, they put all the food down, and then there's like a beat, and they bring me my fajitas. I had a shrimp and steak fajitas, which they put in front of me. I ordered half corn, because they make homemade tortillas. I ordered half corn and half flour tortillas. And they put it all down. First of all, no corn tortillas. Second of all, no sizzle at all on the fajita platter. Now I know what you're thinking to yourself. Well, Mike, maybe it was still hot, but no, fuck you. Fajitas mean noise. That's how it works. That's how I know fajitas are working. Because they're going and there's smoke coming off them. That's the whole point. You put them on a fucking hot-ass sizzle platter, and they fucking fry right in front of you. That's the point. Fajita in Spanish means frying. That may not be correct, but I don't care. In my brain, that's what it means. So they bring my plate. It's not making any noise at all. So that's when I know it's fucked. And I just look at it. I'm just kind of like, ugh. I touch the plate with both fingers. The plate is cold. The food is warm. Like I could put my hand on top of it and not flinch at all. It's room temperature. My steak is. And I'm staring at it, and I'm like, and I'm mad. I have to admit, I'm mad because I'm paying for dinner. And I know that's not that big a deal, maybe for some people, but if there's 8 of us, which there were, and I'm the one paying for dinner, I want to make sure it's right. So but also I want to defer to my friend. I'm in his town. I don't want to be the squeaky wheel. And also, Dennis knows me, and I know Dennis, and we're both 50. We're the oldest people at the table, by the way. Oh no, actually, Randy's my age as well. I keep forgetting Randy's my age. She's so young, but Dennis's wife is a lot younger, and her friend, and then the kids are the kids, and her sister. So I already feel like a dad anyway. So I didn't want to be a dad and pull a dad move because it's not my fucking town. Even though I was paying, but I was willing to pay. But then all of a sudden there's a beat, and then Dennis just goes, "You're right." I look at him and I go, "What's up?" And he goes, "You're right." He goes, "My food is like it's warm. He goes, not even warm, it's room temperature. And then I look at Kelly and she says, yeah, no, mine is too. And all of a sudden then everybody finally goes, yeah, no, this is, and then Kelly's sister says, yeah, no, this is cold. Like my food is actually cold. And I'm furious at that fucking point. So I waited, I didn't say anything, but thankfully everybody copped to it. And then of course his daughter, she ordered a nachos. She just wanted bean and cheese nachos with just beans and cheese. They bring out this food for a 13-year-old girl. It's got jalapenos and guac and fucking like cilantro and shit. And we specifically asked again. You ask what you pay for. Fucking restaurants. So the woman comes and then Dennis says, "Hey, look." He goes, "This is all. Everything is screwed up. I mean, it's been an hour. We waited, and then they bring the food out, and it's cold. It's just cold." And this woman was crazy apologetic. She gets a manager. The manager's also apologizing. She's like, "I'm really sorry. What do you guys want?" And Dennis goes, "Well, I mean, you could warm stuff up or what?" And she goes, "You know what? We can do that." And dudes, you know me. I wanted to dive out of a fucking window. Like I wanted to just stand up and go, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?" But that's what they did. They took everybody's food and they said, "We'll warm it up and we'll bring it back." And she went to take mine. I go, "Hey, look, don't bother warming it up." And she goes, "What do you mean?" I go, "It's fajitas." I go, "The whole point is it's supposed to be on a sizzle platter." So, and she goes, "Well, it's okay. I'll heat it up." I go, "No, I'm serious. I'm not eating. I'm fine." Because that's my own little silent protest that I can make. Because you don't send cooked food back into the kitchen and have them bring out the same cooked food. It's just not done. You don't do that. And if you're a manager, you should fucking know better. You should literally go, "Hey, you know what? I'm comping everybody and we'll cook you new food." But you're going to reheat everybody's fucking food like you're in there. I mean, fuck, I might as well just throw it in a bag and put it in the microwave when I get to the fucking house, man, right? And at that point, that's when I wanted to go full Manson. That's when I was like, all right, I really wanted Dennis and Randy to become Tex and Squeaky and creepy crawly into the fucking kitchen, slash some throats and write fucking Rise and Die Pig on the wall with fucking salsa. That's what I wanted. Fuck that. I was furious. I was really mad. So, and I shouldn't be. I know I shouldn't be, but I didn't act up and I didn't act out. I very quietly and politely told the waiter, because look, it's not the waitress's fault at all. I don't know whose fucking fault it is. It's the fault of the whole restaurant, and the manager should take the fall. And the fact that they tried to do everything they could to make it right for everyone, where they heated up their food and they brought it out to them. And as long as the people I was with were content with that, that's fine, because I can't impose my will upon them at that point, where I can't go, "Hey, look, you guys know that they shouldn't be heating your food up. That's ridiculous, right?" But they were cool with it, and because they're nice people. And it was funny, I was talking to Dennis's daughter, because then they brought her nachos out. They got them wrong a second time. And we told the guy, we go, "No, man, we don't want anything on them." And the guy's like, "Oh, are you sure?" "What do you mean, am I sure, motherfucker? Yeah, I know what I ordered. I know what I want to eat. And I know that I'm fucking paying. Don't ask me if I'm sure. You already told me it was a bad night. Now you're asking me if I'm sure of what I want?" By the way, they're asking a 14-year-old girl that at the end of the table. And I'm sitting next to her. And I go, "No, she's sure. We know what we ordered." And the weirdest thing was he picked it up. He goes, "All right." Like, kind of like we were crazy. He walks into the kitchen. 3 seconds later, this guy had to walk past him on the way out while he was walking in. He comes out with the good nachos. And he goes, "Bean and cheese nachos, plain?" And we go, "That's right here." And he puts them down. So this guy had brought somebody else's order out to our fucking table and acted like we were crazy for not fucking wanting it. And look, I know it's been a long time since I've gotten furious in a restaurant, right, guys? You know that. But at the same time, I was not furious. So I told Dennis's daughter, I said, "Look," and she goes, "Well, I'm sorry that I made them." And I go, "No, please, you did nothing wrong. If you're paying, you order what you want. If they can do it, they say yes, and then they bring it to you. If they screw it up, they have to do it over again. Or you leave and don't pay." I go, "If you get what you pay for, and you don't be mean and you don't be rude, but you say specifically, 'Hey, look, this isn't what I ordered. I asked for this, and you're bringing me this, and this is not what I wanted." I said, "But you did nothing wrong by asking them to bring you the thing that you want." And because they all did that, they're very young. They're like, "Well, it's okay. I'm okay with this. I'm all right. I can eat this." And it's like, no, man, you can't. Don't say you can fucking eat this. So then it was funny. Kelly's sister, Kristen, she had cheese enchiladas. And then they heated up her fucking cheese enchiladas. They brought them back, and she's like, "I'm not even hungry now." I'm like, "Well, just bring them home." And then, I'm not kidding, 2 minutes later, they came out and they said, "Cheese enchiladas?" And we were like, "What?" And they go, "Yeah, you guys had cheese enchiladas?" And she goes, "They already brought my cheese enchiladas." And they go, "Well, all right, well, here's more cheese enchiladas." And they put them on the table. So here's the kicker to that story. We get home the next day, we go to heat them up, steak enchiladas. Filled with fucking steak, which is great. Everybody likes steak except Kristen. She didn't want steak. That's why she ordered fucking cheese enchiladas. So they brought her a replacement cheese enchilada, said it was a cheese enchilada, and the steaks were lurking. They were hiding in there beneath the cheese and the hedges. I don't think there were any hedges, but they rolled up in the tortillas. It was like a meat bomb, like a little protein tripwire that when she would have bit into it, she would have gone, "Ah!" And I don't think she's a vegetarian, but it's not a good look when you don't want steak and they bring you steak. So still, they fucked the whole thing up. You're waiting for a kicker, I'm sure. There is no real kicker. I'm just telling you that I behaved myself. I didn't lose my mind. I split Randy's crab and cheese enchiladas or crab and shrimp enchiladas with her, and they were delicious. They were really good. They heated them up. They were fine. But that's the thing. It was just fine. I don't go to a restaurant for fine. I can have fine at my fucking house. I can make fine. The whole point is I'm there to pay you to give me an experience that I can't make in my own fucking house. And I'm being a child and I'm being a weird dude and I get all that and I don't mean to be that guy and I'm sure it sounds fucking... You guys are all like, dude, calm the fuck down. And I'd love to, but I can't. When I go to a place like that and they fuck everything up. I mean, look, I'm in a town where they've got the fucking moon in a hallway and you can't make a cheese enchilada, motherfucker? You gotta be kidding me. You call yourself the Mile High City? Fuck that. I got a fucking piece of the moon somewhere and you can't make nachos. Get the fuck out. Who's running this fucking kitchen? Malcolm Young? Malcolm, we need cheese enchiladas. What? No, we need cheese enchiladas. What? Just go ahead and put some steak in them. What? Yeah, we need steak and shrimp fajita as a combo, but they got to be sizzling when they come out. What? Imagine me, that fucking waiter. You're going to walk out to us. I'm sorry, our chef, he's having a bad night. He's having a really bad night. He had a great fucking life, I'll tell you that, but he's having a bad night. I'm afraid he's not going to be able to get you the cheese enchiladas or the nachos that you want, but if you want blood, you've got it. That's corny, but I'm ending on it. Fuck that. You guys can get me at mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be... That's a bad ending, but that's all right. It came flying out. I'm doing it. I'm sticking with it. It seems like a natural end. Poor Malcolm. I'm making fun of him. That guy's a fucking genius. All right, so... It just seems like a weird ending. Fuck it, it's the end. You guys can get me at mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can get me at Facebook.com/the40yearoldboy. You guys can follow me at Twitter.com/the40yearoldboy. Even this is a weird approach. Shall we take this end? No, fuck it. That's the end. We're committed. I'm pot committed at this point. And why wouldn't you listen to me? I've seen a piece of the moon. You guys can get me at mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40yearoldboy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40yearoldboy. You can follow me at Instagram and Snapchat. Those are very popular from what I understand, and people are very nice reaching out to me on Snapchat and Instagram. After last week with the It Takes a Village to Raise a Schmidt, and everybody stepped up and said, send me sweaty photos of yourself, which seems awkward and odd, but isn't that why Snapchat was built? I think it was. So you guys can get me there. I'm at Mike40YOB. That's Mike40YOB. Mike40YOB. 40YOB at Instagram and at Snapchat. Find me on there and make me your pal. And then send me sweaty pictures of yourself. Let's all send sweaty pictures of ourselves to one another. Yes? I think we should. So I'm on those places. You can find me there. I'm not on any other apps like Glide or any of those other motherfuckers. But someday, perhaps, I think I'm on Ello, my name is. And I think I'm also at Google Plus or what the fuck was that? I don't even know what the name of their thing was. But I know I'm on there. I think under Mike Schmidt or the 40-year-old boy. Might be Mike40YOB. I had a stifle, a yawn hiccup there that was weird. I hope that noise didn't hurt you. As you try to choke down some cranberries. What? Poor Malcolm. Malcolm, can we get some more cranberries for table 6? What? All right, so you know what? Have I mentioned that Ryan Dirks is our web guy? I think I should. Ryan Dirks is all the web stuff for the show, all the stuff over the website, and he'll be put into action shortly soon. Go find him at Facebook.com/Ryan Dirks and become his friend over there and tell him thanks for all the web stuff. Our great friend Giovanni Giorgio Peluso, who is also known as Superfan Gio, not superfan of me, but certainly super fan of others. He's all over the place, man. He's at Facebook.com/Giovanni Giorgio Peluso. He saw Thor like the day it came out, and he wrote me. He was champing at the bit to talk about it. He's one of the reasons I waited 2 weeks to see it. I won't lie. I was going to see it opening weekend, but then Gio contacted me. He's like, man, did you see it? And I said, I didn't see it yet. I said, I haven't seen Dark World yet. Do I need to see Dark World? And he said, yes. You need to see Dark World before you see this. Well, I mean, I don't want to fucking see Dark World, and so I kept putting it off. I'm like, I don't have any plan or future or hope to see Dark World. I could have bought it on pay-per-view and watched it at my house, or it was on TNT the night before Thor, or the night after Thor premiered. He appeared. Whoosh. How's Thor going to get by with... Oh, I can't say that. It's a spoiler. But yeah, man, so Gio's like, yeah, you got to see Dark World. So I waited 2 fucking weeks. And Pat's like, dude, you don't have to see fucking Dark World. So then I go see, and of course, get this, I see Thor, and there's a thing in there, and it's awesome. I thought it was great. And then I write Gio, and I'm like, dude, I finally saw Thor. It's fucking amazing. Because he was telling me that he saw Justice League. And I said, well, I saw Thor. It was fucking great. And he goes, did you get this because of this part and this? And I go, well, I thought it was really funny. And he goes, no, but if you'd seen Dark World, it would have made it that much funnier because it was this and this. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, no, I didn't see Dark World. He's like, you should have seen Dark World, but at least you saw Thor. And I'm not mad at him because it was just, all it was, it would have clarified an in-joke that didn't need clarification. He's like, yeah, you would have got it on a different level if you would have seen Dark World. I don't need to get Thor on a different level. I'm sorry, I just don't. It's Thor, winged hat, big fucking hammer, quippy quips, long hair, Kate Blanchett in a fucking antler hat. She's coming out doing the antler dance, Paul Schaefer style, Valkyrie, and Hulk and other dudes. I mean, that's all you need. Goldblum. I don't need to get another one joke. He kept me from seeing it opening weekend because I would have dug an in joke on a different level. Fuck levels to Thor. I don't need to explore the levels of Thor. I don't need to explore the levels of Thor. I just wrote a song or a poem or a sonnet. I'm writing sonnets to the levels of Thor. Sonnets to the levels of Thor. That should be the name of the show. So anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, Gio, he's the guy. He's our man. If he can't do it, no one can, from what I understand. Stupid. Gio is the guy who's done all sorts of cool stuff. He put our YouTube channel together. That exists. Go check out our YouTube channel for all of our archives. As a matter of fact, this week, if you go back to, I don't know, 2012, I think it was, I did a 4-hour show, man. Get that. I think I'm being indulgent now by putting out 2-hour shows. I did a fucking 4-hour podcast like 3 years ago on this date or 4 years ago on this date. And also 4 years ago on this date was the debut of number 31. Photo number 31 was actually like 4 or 5 years ago. Look at all the fun we had around Thanksgiving. God damn, I talked about my cock and Malcolm Young a lot on Thanksgiving. And for 4 hours, I just talked about a lot of stuff. I don't even know what the fuck that show was about. I just know the people I knew it was a 4-hour gig. But anyway, the point is you can go to YouTube and explore. You can see our whole catalog. It's out there, man. Right now at the 40-Year-Old Boy YouTube channels, I talk through a fucking yawn. I power right the fuck through it. That's right, yawn, you will not defeat me, and I will tell everybody that the YouTube channel exists. Thanks to our friend. They say, that yawn stole my S. Thanks to our great friend Gio, superfan Gio, not superfan of me, but superfan of others. And also, you know what, if you're curious about Gio's other work or what he sounds like, I'll tell you exactly what he sounds like. He sounds like a baseball player who just got hit in the throat with a line drive. That's what he sounds like. I don't know how, because I try to talk to the dude, and he talks faster than me, and then he's like, he sounds like somebody strangling a Muppet. Like, or the guy doing the voice of the Muppet. You can strangle a Muppet all you want. It's not really going to affect their voice. I hate to break this to you, folks. All you're doing is taking somebody's pulse. You strangle a Muppet, you're taking a pulse. But you strangle the guy behind the Muppet, the guy behind the felt, and then you got bad news, because then fucking Kermit's like, he can't talk. So that's what Gio sounds like. He just sounds like a fucking ball player who took a wicked hop in the throat, man. It's just his voice, and then that's all right. I can't crucify the guy. He does good things for me. But the point is, find him at facebook.com/Giovanni Giorgio Peluso. Thank him for all of his hard work. You can seek out his other podcasts. He has the Pod Gods podcast, which involves him and his voice. And he had a partner on there. I don't know if he still has the partner. He might. And then, of course, there's his show, all the hard work he does for Loveline, which is out there now. All the compiling and the putting together that he did for Adam Carolla Industries is all available out there on the web. Gio works really fucking hard for me, for Adam, and for anybody else who needs him. I mean, he's a guy who steps up. If somebody needs something, he fucking just steps up. And because, he doesn't have much of a life otherwise. He's just in his fucking apartment with his dogs trying to make sure his neighbors don't punch him or shoot him. So it's better for him to hide in the house and do all of his regular work on top of his podcasting work and do his own podcast and then be nice to me. He's very nice to me. So be nice to Gio. Go find him on Facebook, become his friend, go to the YouTube channel and peruse it because he did some plenty hard work over there uploading everything. Remember that David Hernandez is the coolest, first of all. Second of all, he is the guy who has all the artwork and all the songs for this show. And he's a guy you want to contact if you want to do a bunch of cool stuff. I'll tell you about that on the other side. Well, no, maybe I'll tell you about that right now. Fuck yeah, I'll tell you about it here. First of all, I'll tell you that he has his Art by DMH website. Let's talk about that. If you go to Art by DMH, you'll find David Hernandez there, and especially with all of the holidays coming up, it makes an amazing gift. You can, he's got his Gycons, he's got his Valscapes, but he's also got any artwork you want to commission, anything you would say to yourself, hey, I want him to paint this or paint me or anything else. He's the guy for it. Contact David at artbydmh.com. And he will undertake anything that you've got. If you're like, hey, man, I want you to paint Malcolm Young working in a Mexican kitchen, he will do it. He can take care of that. If you say, hey, man, I want you to paint a huge wall of coffee with Mike standing in front of it shaking his head, he will do that. Scratching his head even. Why not? He can absolutely do that. If you say to him, hey, I want you to paint Charles Manson giving Squeaky and Tax orders to do something, I'm sure he can do that. So contact him, our friend David Hernandez, via his website. That's artbydmh.com. If you want anything done, Valscapes, Guycons, or if you want to have your own artwork commissioned for this holiday season, go ahead and contact my friend David Hernandez. He is the king, and you will get him at artbydmh.com.
Pilgrims in America, they look like a bunch of dicks. Checking out the buffalo and they're scoping out our chicks. Pilgrims in America, I'm a Native American. This is where I was born. I'm afraid of your Bible. I'm afraid of your porn. I'm a Native American. I'm afraid you can't stay. We don't want country music. We don't want Subway. I'm a Native American. Pilgrims in America. Pilgrims wanna stay. Pilgrims wanna own all the land. Pilgrims go to Starbucks, pilgrims eat at taco stands. Pilgrims in America. I'm a Native American. This is where I was born. I'm afraid of your Bible. I'm afraid of your porn. I'm a Native American. I'm afraid you can't stay. We don't want country music or to eat at Subway. I'm a Native American. Pilgrims like selfie sticks, pilgrims like genocide. Pilgrims like Kardashians, pilgrims like Astroglide. Pilgrims in America. Pilgrims in America. I'm a Native American. This is where I was born. I'm afraid of your Bible. I'm afraid of your porn. I'm a Native American. I'm afraid you can't stay. We don't want country music or to eat at Subway. I'm a Native American. This is where I was born. You take back your Bible. We'll take back our corn. I'm a Native American. We don't want you to stay. You can keep country music. You can keep Chipotle. I'm a Native American. What is an American? What is an American? What is an American? What is an American? God is an American. Obama's an American. Or is he un-American?
Sponsors. We've got Thanksgiving sponsors. First of all, PETA has contacted me to tell you to stop eating that fucking turkey, jerk. And stop eating that fucking turkey and that turkey jerky. Don't eat any of that stuff, according to PETA. They don't want you to wear feathers or fur or any of that bullshit, and they want to just come around and throw blood on you. They're like those. And also, if you're in Japan, don't kill a whale or a dolphin or whatever the fuck. What was that movie, Blackfish? I didn't get to see it. It's yet another movie I didn't get to see. But I think they could make a Blackfish about me at a sushi bar. That's all. Just make me the villain of it. Just show me consuming plankton and all sorts of other fish and make me the villain of that particular Blackfish. All right, hi. See, I'm still, again, I'm floating in another world here where I don't have anything to plug in the beginning because I used to get you guys to a fucking venue, but that venue doesn't exist anymore. Or at least the venue does exist, but the show doesn't exist anymore, so there's no point in sending you there. Hi. I'll tell you about this, folks. Why not? We've got sponsors, plenty of sponsors, so many sponsors. You know, I was just talking about our friend David on the other side of this, right? I was telling you about him and his artbydmh.com. Well, did you know he's also doing Facebook caricatures for people, particularly for the holidays? I'll bet you didn't know that. I'm here to tell you now, this is a limited time, very limited, because the fucking holidays are here, for fuck's sake. I don't know how much more limited you want it to be. But he would give you a digital scan of a watercolor that he would paint for you. It would be your profile pic on Facebook, and it'd be you in a Santa hat. It could be you blowing the Grinch. It could be you doing anything that you want yourself to do in a holiday fashion. If you want to have yourself under the mistletoe with Cindy Crawford, maybe he'd do that. Wait, now I'm fucking stepping out of it here. Did I ever tell you guys I got a photo of Cindy Crawford? When I went to see U2 at the Rose Bowl, fucking Cindy Crawford was right next to me, and I took a photo of her. Because I'm a sneaky creep. No, that's a lie. She actually came over and posed for photos. That was the weirdest fucking thing. It was like, she was like, hey, look, I just want to enjoy the show, and I know you guys are gawking and staring right now because I'm fucking badass Cindy Crawford, so I'm going to come over here and smile and wave, and you guys can take some photos right now. So, and I was like, look at these dumbasses taking photos, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to take a photo of her, don't I? Yes. So I did. So I have a photo of her, and she looks ridiculous. My phone actually thanked me. That's how fucking good Cindy Crawford looks. I snapped a photo of her, and my phone just put up a little message, just thank you, and texted me with it just said phone's interior. Thank you. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh, so anyway, I don't want to say that David would paint you with Cindy Crawford, but if you pay him enough, if you got enough dough, if you come through, you can set a fuck anything, request anything from him, and if you're, like I said, if you're coughing up enough dough, I'm sure he can make it work. But again, like I said, you can private message Mex for a price using Facebook Messenger, and he would give you, like I said, a digital scan of a watercolor formatted for use as a profile pic. From what I understand, and I don't know what this means, it's 600 by 600 DPI. And I think that means dumbasses per inch, so that would be just you. You're the only dumbass in this picture, right? Unless you wanted him to paint a festival of dumbasses. Oh, boy, that'd be a good-ass photo for the holidays. Festival of dumbasses. So, again, very limited time because the holidays are here. You can message him through Facebook. And also, you got to give him a reference photo and an email address. Do not forget that, although he'll tell you that after you contact him. But he wants that. And he does mainly like a head and shoulder thing. But if you wanted something else, it gets kind of weird with the size of the painting and stuff like that. But whatever it's all negotiable. That's what I mean. If you contact David, tell him what you want. If he can't do it, he won't. And he'll tell you. But if he can, you guys can work out a price and make it look fucking amazing. And if you see the artwork we do, like go take a look right now. Look down at your iPod and look at the artwork we did this week. That could be you, whatever it winds up being. I haven't talked to him yet about what the show is, but it could be anything. So look down right now at your iPod and think to yourself, man, that could be me for the holidays. That'd be fantastic. So please contact our friend David. He does all of that cool ass stuff. Like I said, he's at facebook.com/David Hernandez. Become his friend. Write him a private message on there, and then off you go. And you're so close to having a photo of yourself in a winter wonderland. Oh, or not a photo, a painting of yourself in a winter. Just walking along, singing a song, walking in a winter wonderland, painted by. I keep saying Lunderland, winter Lunderland. Wonder fuck. Contact David. He'll paint you the way you want to be painted. Could you give me big muscles? or yeah, maybe like the punching Judas in the dick. All right, so that's from an internet or an interlude. Internet, fuck my brain. So please contact him and let him know what's what, and he will go ahead and do a Facebook fucking holiday caricature for you, man. Contact him and let him know that he's got to do it. You want to know where to buy gifts this holiday season? You want to go on the internet. First of all, let's talk about this. GetTheButters.com exists. Use the code 40YOB and get all sorts of scratchy, scrubby, scrubbly dubbies and get them over there at GetTheButters.com. Jerome is the man. He's up in Michigan right now toiling away. He's got his iPod vagina plugged in. He's got his earbuds in his ears. And that is a slamming noise I just heard through a window. Did you guys hear that? Possibly. That was Lou. He was leaving and slamming his door. He's furious at Thanksgiving. He's so mad at turkeys. Maybe you heard me talking about Jerome. He knows about Jerome and Get the Butters, and he's wondering why he cannot get a deal. But you know what, Lou? You can if you use the code 40YOB over there at getthebutters.com, 40YOB, and you can buy yourself a calming gel. I think Jerome sells those. As he toils away, like I said, right now he's got his earbuds plugged in, and he's right now naked at a table, and he's got two hands making a honey scrub or something. He's making a butter, a balm, a lube, a balm, a mask, anything. He's making all those things, and he doesn't even wear rubber gloves, folks. Anything you get has been touched by Jerome's hands. Don't you want to be touched by Jerome's hands? Touch me, Jerome. Send it in, Jerome. If anybody knows what that is, fucking write me immediately. Send it in, Jerome. I don't want to give you the last name, but boy, is that I was in a casino when that happened. That's all I'll tell you. This right here, send it in, Jerome. I was in a casino when that fucking happened. So right now, because anybody who writes me, I'll tell you, because I got nothing to give. I'll give you a shout out on the next show if you fucking tell me what send it in Jerome means. But don't Google it. Don't be that guy. Only write in and enter this contest if you know it for real. Don't be somebody who looks it up on the internet like a dick bag. That seems rude. By the way, if you want to get a soft dick bag, buy some scrubs from getthebutters.com at code 40YOB. That's the thing to do, man. You got to go ahead and get it, because I could have used his action last week before I went to Denver. I went in for the full maintenance. I went and saw Renee and I got waxed. Oh, Mr. Mike. I went and got that taken care of. I got a haircut, got all fucking clean buzzed. My goatee is back by popular request. Because I was shaving and then I wasn't shaving, then I was growing the beard out and whatever the fuck, and then on my 50th I shaved it all off. But now I was like, man, maybe it's time for the goatee to come back. And by the way, like I said, it was by popular request. It wasn't me who thought the goatee should come back, but perhaps Randy said, hey, I'd really like to see you with that, because it's like because she liked the beard coming in. I go, this beard it's not going to work. And she's like, I don't know, I kind of like it. And I go, well, I used to have a goatee for a while, like a goatee that was kind of a chin strap deal. And she's like, ooh, I would like to see that. So we're back doing that bullshit again. My face is back to normal, or back to what it was. I don't know where I was going to say Mike 3.0, but this was Mike 2.0, I think. We're just bringing it back. So it was, or it could be Mike 4.0. Who the fuck knows? But the point is, if you want a soft dick bag, get something from Jerome at getthebutters.com. Use the code 40YOB and he'll take care of you. But yeah, and I also got a pedicure. I went in and got a pedicure and got that taken care of. And everybody's just like, and look, pedicures are awesome. I will not hear your fucking arguments against them. Waxing is awesome. If you get it done, you'll go, oh my God, why didn't I fucking do this forever? Because whenever I bring it up, I brought it up in Denver. We're sitting around the table, and I came up that I was getting a pedicure, and Dennis is like, what's next? You're getting a wax? And I go, I got that done yesterday too. And he's like, you're fucking kidding me. And I go, no. And then I told him it started out as a bit on the show, and it was a vote. I was talking about it, and everybody voted whether I was going to see a man or a woman, and everybody voted for a man, and I went and saw Renee, and then it turned out it's the fucking greatest. Like, you got to get it done. And he and his wife are just staring at me. I mean, Dennis isn't surprised, but his wife, I'm sure, is just like, that dude, what the fuck? Because she thinks we're weird enough anyway, because she's like 20 years younger than all of us, and we're just goofs. Just like, literally, she's just there with a bunch of fucking stooges. Because every time we'd be talking, me, Randy, and Dennis would be talking music, and then we'd go, who do you like, Kelly? Because I felt like an asshole, like fucking leaving her out. Like, her favorite band of all time is No Doubt, which is great. Nothing wrong with that. I like Gwen Stefani. I like a lot of No Doubt music. She's seen them live, like, I think 8 times, she said. And so, but it was important for me to bring her into the conversation to ask what she liked and who she saw and stuff. And she's really good about not caring about that sort of thing, but it's more me caring about it, right? I want to make her, because especially when you're around us, me and fucking Max and all us dudes, we start talking about high school and bullshit that we did. And Kelly's just going, I wasn't even alive. I don't even know what your fucking touchstone is for any of this bullshit. So it was important for me to bring her into the conversation. But when she heard about me getting waxed and the pedicure and the fucking haircut and stuff the night before I went to Denver, she's just kind of looking at me like, all right, well, that's interesting. But if you go to getthebutters.com and use the code 40YOB, maybe you do your own waxing at your house with something Jerome made. And again, like I said, everything you put on you has been touched by Jerome. So it's literally, if you take like a lube and you put it all over your cock, you are 1 degree away from having Jerome's hands on your cock. That seems rude. Or on your nipples. Say, ladies, if you wanted to put some scrub on your nipples, and I'm not one to judge, you can do that if you want, but you are 1 degree away from having Jerome's hands on your nipples. Those are almost surrogate hands. Everything you buy from getthebutters.com with the code 40YOB, it's surrogate hands, surrogate Jerome hands. A butter, a balm, a lube, a balm, a mask, all of it. It's like having Jerome's very hands touching you at that moment, but just a lot more slick. So go get those things, rub them on yourselves, and fantasize about Jerome, a guy you've never met in Michigan, making this garbage in his bathtub. But who fucking cares, man? Buy it. It's a good deal. Use the code 40YOB, not 40YOB at getthebutters.com. Remember that Paranoid Strain is a podcast in iTunes. You know that, right? We've talked about it many times. It's a fantastic show, a show that does what I can't do. It brings you a linear story. It has research. It's got other voices. It's got all sorts of like drops and music and things that I wouldn't even think about attempting because I just hurt myself. I'm already mad that I didn't fucking have a name for the show and I got to go back and listen to hear what the fuck it could possibly be. But Paranoid Strain is out there. You can download it now. I think it's episode 4 is my guess. That's what's available right now on iTunes. And here's your thing. You go and you get it. You listen to it. Then you write Fearful Jesuit, the host of Paranoid Strain, and say, hey, I love this show and Mike Schmidt sent me. Or you go to the iTunes store and you write, hey, I love Paranoid Strain and I love Fearful Jesuit. Mike Schmidt sent me. Or you can just write, hey, you know what? I hate Paranoid Strain. I'm mad at Mike Schmidt for sending me. The important part is that you're giving feedback so Fearful Jesuit knows he's not wasting his time or spinning his fearful wheels funding this and trying to get it advertised on the show and getting a listenership, getting people on board. So please, go download the Paranoid Strain from iTunes. Contact Fearful Jesuit. Perhaps he'll get you involved in the show in some way, doing a drop, making a phone call. I don't know. It's a community over there. I've got no community here. I've just got me sitting in my apartment, wondering when I'll be done. Which is strange because I'm only halfway to fucking 4 hours, which I did a few years ago, as I mentioned before. If you want to go look it up on YouTube, how crazy. I can't even imagine what that was. How the fuck did I do that? Like I saw, Thor's 2 hours long, and in my head I'm like, my one-man show would still have an hour left. I was a selfish man on my first tour. So if I go back out on the road, you guys don't want to see a 3-hour show, right? Nobody wants a 3-hour tour. Nobody wants to go Ginger and Mary Ann with me in a fucking theater with rickety seats. You want me to come in and do a nice, clean, tight 1-hour show, don't you? You tell me. I'm figuring it out. But I mean, it seems weird to go all the way to England and just limit myself to 1 hour. I mean, if I go to England and I get into a theater, why wouldn't I talk until I was done? Why wouldn't I talk until I fucking passed out and they had to revive me by waving a haddock under my nose? All right, so here's the deal, folks. Like I said, our great friend, Fearful Jesuit, Paranoid Strain, download it, leave a review in the iTunes store, write him a personal note, tell him you love it, and very importantly, mention that I sent you either on the iTunes store or in a personal correspondence. That's the word. You send to him. Make sure he knows that I was the one who made you make the leap and join the Paranoid Strain train. That's what I'm going to call it, the Strain train. So please listen to that show. It's cool. And our friend Fearful Jesuit's a cool-ass guy. Also, folks, let's talk about this. We have a new sponsor. And when I say a sponsor, I mean a friend of the show, our friend Rob Matsushita. He's the coolest. He's a great guy. He actually, I think I told you, he filmed me in Green Bay, and I've got that video. It'll go up soon. I promise. But he actually filmed The One Man, and I know people have been writing me like, Mike, you've been threatening this thing. Yeah, I'm a nice person. I'll get it up, I promise. Oh, is that the first time I've ever used that sentence? I'm not going to say. I'm not going to reveal that much about myself. Here's the deal. Rob Matsushita is a writer, actor, producer, and he's got a show coming up. I don't know where you guys live, but if you're in the Midwest, if you're in flyover country, in Iowa City, Iowa, our great friend Rob Matsushita is doing a show called Civil. Now, he's given me a whole press release with, I'm not kidding you, 1,000 fucking words. I don't know why he thought I would read this entire fucking thing. I'll try to bullet point it for you. But our friend Rob's doing a stage play called Civil. Rob Matsushita wrote it. He's not directing this one. He wrote it. It's directed by Adrienne Sullivan. It's like a science fiction courtroom drama, which I think you know I'm on board with all of those things. I love science. I love fiction. I love courts. I love rooms. I love drama. That whole 5-piece works together for me. Now, if you would have said it was a Psy-Room court-fi drama, would I have been on board? Probably not. Well, no, actually I would. Fuck that. I love all 5 of those things individually. I don't care how you fucking arrange them. If you would have said it was a Phi-drama Psy-court room, I would have said yes. Or if it would have been a room-Phi Psy-court drama, or a court-Psi Phi-room drama, if it would have just been a court drama Psy-room Phi. I'm going anyway, no matter what. You know why? Matsushita, Sullivan. 2 fucking words. Produced by Dreamwell Theater, performing at the Public Space 1 in Iowa City, Iowa, December 1st through the 9th. Now, you want a plot synopsis? Of course you do. Civil is set in an unspecified future. So look, here's the thing. If you hate this fucking play, you can spend all the time sitting there wondering what point in the future it takes place. See, now look at that. It's a game. Not only is it a play, it's an interactive game. So if you're hating it and your mind goes to drifting, you can go like Malcolm Young and try to think about whatever fucking year it happened. What? It's an what year is this? What? Civil set in an unspecified future where trials are held in a virtual environment can only be 40 minutes long. Well, I'm out. right? We just talked about that. I'm coming to town. You know what? That's how I'm going to do it. I'm doing my civil show in England, and I'm only doing 40-minute sets. That's how it's happening. There's 5 actors, 2 men, 2 women, and one that can be played by either gender. Ooh, I don't know why that's in the press release, but it's there. Maybe to keep you guessing. Maybe that's what it is. Oh, you know what? Here, I'm going to rephrase this. Civil is set in an unspecified future with a cast of 2 men, 2 women, and an unspecified gender. How about that? A lot of unspecifications going on in this goddamn show. But Civil is there. It's rolling at the Public Space 1 in Iowa City, Iowa. People are playing multiple roles. The audience votes on the outcome of both trials. See, it's an interactive show. You're right there. You're right there as the court side drama room happens. You are there voting on the outcome. You can sentence somebody to virtual unspecified death if you'd like to, I think. Performances are December 1, 2, 8, and 9 at the Public Space 1. You want an address? Of course you do. 120 North Dubuque Street in the basement of the Wesley Center. Hey, look, they're not going to put this in the fucking main floor of the Wesley Center. It's a startup. We're working our way up. You know how it is in Iowa. When you got to play, it goes right into the basement of the Wesley Center. When you finally catch on and some people are starting to get some buzz, you move up to the second floor of the Wesley Center. Then, eventually, you get to the main floor of the Wesley Center, and then all of a sudden, you're in the attic of the Wesley Center, and that's when you're closing. That's kind of the end of the run. If you make it from the basement all the way to the attic, you've done well. That's how they run a play. Because there's off-Broadway, and then there's Broadway, there's basement, and then there's main floor, and then top floor. There's 3 levels to the Wesley Center. Good luck. Move your play up from the basement to the top. I like that. That's almost like a fucking weird-ass competition. 1 play enters, no plays leave if everybody likes it, or that play does leave. Tickets can be ordered. He did not tell me where. There was a link, but that's kind of weird. And he did not give me a link. All right, all shows start at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, December 2nd. They're going to have a pay what you can night where the goal is to make the show accessible to anyone who wants to attend. Now, I'll tell you this. I say now that he's not giving me a ticket link, and that's unfortunate. But I think we can all agree that if your play is in the basement of a building, walk-ups are going to be available. How about that? Let's say that. So again, Civil, a stage play written by Rob Matsushita, directed by Adrienne Sullivan, playing at the Public Space 1 in Iowa City, Iowa. That's the Dream... Oh, sorry. It's produced by Dreamwell Theater, performing at the Public Space 1 in Iowa City, Iowa, December 1st, 2nd, 8, and 9. 120 North Dubuque Street in the basement of the Wesley Center. Tickets can be ordered. All shows start at 7:30 on Saturday, December 2nd. They have a pay what you can night. Oh, and by the way, this isn't going to be like swimming through technobabble. It's about the people. It's not going to be a bunch of sci-fi gobbledygook. It's not like a weird Logan's Run with a lot of weird keyboard and everybody makes furtive glances, and then at the end a robot reveals its chest plate. It's not going to be like that. It's about the people in the cases. It's the courtroom. It just happens to be set in a sci-fi area. Also, our friend Rob Matsushita will be at the closing night performance on the 9th if anyone wants to come by and say hi to him. I will assume he's the only Japanese person in Iowa now that my friend Ak left. But still, if you go to the show on the 9th, go say hi to Rob, tell him the 40-year-old boy sent you, take a photo, prove it, put it in the fan club page. Now, I will say this. I don't know how much faith our friend Rob Matsushita has in his stage play Civil if he's only attending one of the 4 performances, but I don't want to get into that. I personally would try to make sure I was in the room for all of them if I wrote the goddamn thing, but that's because I'm an egomaniac. Rob's comfortable enough to sit home on the 1st, the 2nd, and the 8th and go, you know what, I can't wait to glide in there on the 9th and be carried on everybody's shoulders because these first 3 are priming the pump, and then we get in there on the 9th and boom, I drive it home. That's when everybody comes. Like the 1st, 2nd, and 8th, that's foreplay. On the 9th, Rob shows up and he fucks, and that's what happens with that goddamn play. We're getting to the basement of the Wesley Center and we're going to fuck on the 9th, and then everybody walk up and say hi to Rob. But there it is, his play Civil. Written by Rob, directed by Adrienne Sullivan, and it's a sci-fi courtroom drama, Dreamwell Theater, Iowa City, Iowa, Public Space 1. Please go December 1st, 2nd, 8th, or 9th. Remember Saturday, December 2nd, pay what you can night. And I would assume you can find Rob online or Google the information, and you'll find a ticket link where to get the tickets. I'm kind of shocked he didn't send me the ticket link, but maybe he doesn't fucking care so much about this play. Maybe he's assuming it'll take you all of this time, the next 11 days to find the ticket link, and then you can show up on the 9th when he's there. Maybe he's taking the steam out of the 1st, 2nd, and the 8th. I don't know how he works his business. All I know is he advertises here, so if you want to go see it, go see it. Enjoy! That's what Trump always ends his fucking tweets with. I will be on Fox and Friends this morning. Enjoy. Fuck you. Who wants to drive for Uber? Who wants to drive for Lyft? You do, don't you? If you want to drive for Lyft, use this code. All capital letters, Mike 720057. That's MIKE 720057. Drive for Lyft. Get a pink mustache in your car. Get a Lyft sign that says Lyft, Lyft, Lyft. And then have drunks get in your car and go, are you my Lyft? Yes, I'm your fucking Lyft. Look at the goddamn circus I've got on the dashboard of this fucking car. Look at the motherfucking Carnival Floor Show, fucking Gunther Gable Williams bullshit light up sign I've got in the window. Did you not think I could be your fucking Lyft, you jagoff? But it's much more pleasant than that. Go ahead and become a driver and make me your Lyft pimp. MIKE720057. If you want to drive for Uber, who can blame you? It's very popular these days. All the kids are doing it. Go to uber.com and say, become a driver. Well, don't say it. I mean, unless you have a voice-activated computer. You know who has that? Somebody from Civil, the sci-fi courtroom drama set in the future. That person there, two men, two women, and an unspecified gender with an unspecified voice-activated computer. Go to Uber and use my code, all lowercase, DJZW1YTTUE, DJZW1YTTUE. Become an Uber driver and make me your Uber pimp. I get some dough, you get rides, you get some dough, everybody's happy. Please do it this holiday season. A way to make easy holiday cash for you. With the Christmas season coming up, you can buy a special gift. If you want to buy your kid G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip, and so your wife wants to fuck you, your wife don't want to fuck you if you don't want to buy the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip for your son, so you want to go out and drive some extra time and make some dough. So use this code, DJZW1YTTUE at Uber to become an Uber driver. Uber driver. Uber driver. Go to the website, MikeSchmidtComedy.com. That's there. Still got the Joe Business page. That's lurking. We've got, of course, there's our Amazon link, which is very important for you to use on Black Friday. That's tomorrow. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow is Black Friday. I don't know what kind of specials they have. They used to have a deal like where you could put in the store all the things that were fancy schmancy. But look, man, if you're going to do any shopping for Black Friday, it would be so cool if you would use our link. We would love it very much. Use the Amazon link, and we get money, they get money, you get stuff. It works out perfectly. You're getting all of your holiday shopping done early and using the link, which allows me to go do some holiday shopping myself because you're sending me cash. Thank you. I get some right off the top. We get money, they get money, you get stuff. Please use the Amazon link there on the Joe Business page at the MikeSchmidtComedy.com website. I've been plugging and pounding in your heads for years and fucking years. We've got all sorts of other stuff there for sale. We've got shirts. We've got fucking download sets. All that stuff is there. I've beaten that to death, and anybody who wants it's already bought it. But I got it. It's out there lurking if you want it. And also, remember, we have a Patreon page. Now, it lurks right now. Like if you go to it right now, dust will shoot out of your computer. Yes, it's not been very active, but the Patreon page still exists. I want to thank our friend Matt Pipkin, who just bumped his donation per month. He bumped it $5 extra. Thank you, Matt. You stepped up. You also sent me an email that I owe you an answer to. And I'm, again, like I said, all family business gets settled the next couple of days here. It's Tuesday, but before Thanksgiving, I'll be in a Fitbit group. I'll have all sorts of bullshit happening. So thank you so much to our great friends there at Matt Pipkin's house. I got ahead of myself there. I apologize. All of our great friends at Matt Pipkin's house, particularly Matt, who went ahead and bumped up his donation on the Patreon page, his sponsorship, his subscription, whatever you want to call it. And if you want to get on our Patreon page, go there. It's, just Google Mike Schmidt Patreon, or go to, I think it's Mike40YOB, patreon.com/Mike40YOB, and go there and do that. And like I said, dust will come shooting out of your computer, but not for long. I've got things to post, damn it. I just never know what people really want to see. I do that thing. I'm like, oh, nobody wants that. Shut up, stupid. Quit doing that. Quit being that guy. All right, so that exists. So go to get the Amazon Black Friday link. And also don't forget to use it for Cyber Monday. Remember that Cyber Monday is coming. That's happening. Everybody wants to know about Cyber Monday. I don't know why they would, but they do. Cyber Monday exists, so please use the code, the Amazon link on Cyber Monday as well as Black Friday. And use it on fucking Speculative Saturday and Sad Sunday and fucking Terrible Tuesday and Whip 'em Out Wednesday and fucking Titty Thursday, or it should be Thong Thursday, right? Thong Thursday, every other fucking Morning Zoo drive-by, drive-time fucking idiot Tom Likas nonsense, right? Or no, that's a guy from Chicago, Kevin Matthews. Kevin Matthews used to do a guy named Jim Shorts, and he talked like that, right? Tim Likas was like, hi, son, hi, Tom. Oh, my God. All those dudes. And Alex Jones, Turkey the fucking frog's gay. You gotta have a gimmick, man. That's the thing. I've never had a gimmick. My gimmick is I just talk for 4 fucking hours. That's my gimmick from a couple years ago. And you see where it got me. I'm plugging a play in a fucking basement. That's how good things are going for me these days. I've gone ahead and stepped up, and I'm telling you to go listen. I'm plugging another podcast. I'm telling you to become an Uber driver because I'm one. That's how good the plugs are going for me these days. All of my gimmicks. See, I make fun of these fucking morning zoos because they got a bunch of shit. They're spinning plates. They're bringing guys in and going, oh, snap. Let's send Turd out to interview people for breakfast tacos. goes, and it's like, yay, everybody loves it. Meanwhile, I'm putting out a radio show that goes directly to your fucking house once a goddamn week, 4 hours at a goddamn time, and everybody's going, I can't believe I'm spending a 10th Thanksgiving with this motherfucker. Seriously? I mean, giblets and Mike. That's what fucking Thursday has become. That's what Thanksgiving has become in this country. Giblets and Mike. At least for you guys. Nobody else knows who the fuck I am. They're just having giblets and fun. You're having giblets and Mike as I crouch there on your ear like Jiminy Cricket watching you shovel in mouthfuls of fucking mashed potatoes, thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, I'm bothering these people again? Well, nobody wants to fucking hear from me.
There's nothing lonelier than being trapped inside yourself. It's easier to hide when you pretend yours a knight. Women love a guy with a giant neck.
We here, we are playing on a level that most will never see.